Welcome everybody to an SMZ3 randomizer race. This is a match between cross product, or not cross product, but Cynas and Linkforce. My co-commentator is cross product, and tracking for us is Sandri. Welcome, cross product.
Hey, how you doing, HK? So I know both of these guys and pretty even skill level, so I'm looking for a real close race. I'm gonna say finish was within 5 minutes of each other.
Yeah, I beg and plead, like when Miss Metroid announced the winners and stuff, or the standings, immediately I saw these two. I messaged both of them like, please, I'm begging you, please let me commentate.
There you go.
I got on my hands and knees and prayed to both of them. I don't have a webcam, but I made the
Trust me.
gesture.
Alright, we should be getting started in just a moment. We have seed matches here. Hugh, Argy, Ripper, Tozoku, and as we're getting started, you want to shout out our sponsor, Rank1.global?
I don't know that much information about Rank1.global.
Oh,
but
well,
I know
then let me tell you. They're a social media site for gamers where you can share your progress through new games, post your favorite games, clips and good moments and stuff. And they are providing a cash prize for this tournament for the top 4 players. So thank you very much to our sponsors there. It looks like we have a standard start, both runners going left from the ship, which is really good because if you go right, you need super missiles and they don't have any.
Oh, I know. Oh, Link to the Past, good play to begin with. A lot of checks. I was a buddy of mine who I got into this was
on the island. Yep.
I got a buddy that I was telling him what I was doing. He's like, "Hey, come join us." I'm like, "No, I'm commentating a race," and I got him into this, and he's been working on the seed for like 4 days now,
playing one or writing a plando.
No, it's not a plando. It's just a random seed.
He's just playing it to throw it. Okay. Yeah. I mean, honestly, when it comes to randomizers, Link to the Past or whatever, even if you don't finish them, it's fun to start them off. Like I was probably on my 3rd or 4th Link to the Past randomizer before I actually finished one. And that's a nice cash prize there. That's going to give us money to buy bombs as well as take the bottle vendor item.
Yeah. Just money and heart, some love from the old, or from, what's his name? The grand.
I want to say going to Uncle before the chest is slightly faster because you don't have to walk quite as far down the hallway, but it's not going to be that much of a difference here. Wow, nice pause time for Link. Force, never mind. All right. So Cynas is just barely ahead. Now, you did mention that most runners will go to Link to the Past first. There is one item in Logic that runners can get in Super Metroid that is where Morph Ball would normally be. And there's also an E-Tank in the ceiling a couple rooms over, which you can see and you can get with a damage boost. However, that pickup is not in Logic. And we have a little bit of divergence here. We're going to meet in the village. Linkforce will be scouting out the Lumberjack ledge for us, and Cynas is going to farm some bombs. Save up 50 rupees.
Oh, yeah.
So 2 of those bushes that Cynas is picking up, they each have a 50-50 chance of giving him a bomb. So
is it just those 2 bushes at the bottom?
4. Yeah, the 2 that are diagonal from each other. He actually got a bomb out of each of those, did Cynas. So yeah, good RNG. Got 3 out of 4 bombs. Each
and a book on Lumberjack.
That is an item. However, it's not necessarily required.
Ooh, high jump boots on race game too.
Only he could jump high enough to reach those. He wouldn't have to go all the way around. But fortunately, he did farm up a couple of extra bombs here, so he'll be able to either get into the little hut where you can pick up more drops, or he can just use them. He might buy. With the 300 rupee horde pickup already, I wouldn't be surprised to just see him go into the shop.
That's a hook shot.
It sure is. That's a great movement item early on in the game.
And a good item if you're not comfortable with guards, hitting you. I did not see what was in the drop down in Thieves' Hideout. I don't think it was anything.
Well, did he go in? He's going in.
Oh, no. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, so that book on Lumberjacks is interesting. It unlocks a few items, but it's not a hard requirement for anything but a couple of overworld checks. It's even less of a hard requirement in SMZ3. So if you're familiar with Link to the Past Randomizer, you think, okay, book, I can get into Desert Palace, or I can get into Desert Palace by having Titan's Mitts, Flute, and Mirror. Well,
Now-
in the combo randomizer, you can take one of the cross-world portals to get into the Mire area, and so if you have enough Super Metroid items, you only need the mirror to get in the Desert Palace. And we don't even know if it's a crystal or pendant yet. We haven't had a map check.
Yeah. That book, if that book was in my friend, because I asked him to send me the seed so I can play it. Ooh, grapple beam. That's a good find too. I asked him
the other
if he could
tickle beam.
send me that seed so I could, because I was curious, because he's like, I'm having so much trouble, and I've been routing it the way I would route it. I also was in his stream, helping him and trying to help him with routing and everything, and his book led to hammer on a tablet by Tower of Hera.
Well, that's pretty important. There are 2 tablets. There's the Ether tablet on the mountain and a Bamos tablet by the
Flippers.
swamp. And there's flippers. Speaking of swamp, but so those are the 2 item locations that have a hard requirement of book. You need book and at least Master Sword to get those items. You also can use the book to scout out what's on pedestal, but you can just do all the extra 3 pendant dungeons and grab that without even using the book to check it. So I'm interested to see whether this book's going to end up being required.
Yeah. Now,
I wouldn't even think about going to Aghanim unless I got the Pegasus boots.
I mean, to make it hard required in SMZ3, you'd have to stop the Titan's Mitts. No.
Well, you would have to, depending on how hard you're willing to break the logic, because Lava Dive is not in logic unless you have Gravity, Varia, and Space Jump. But there are some ways you can do it without really any of the required items. So depending on how hard you're willing to break the logic, you might not need that. You might not need even the mitts or the flute or whatever. But you do need the mirror. In order to skip the book, you do need the mirror to get in the Desert Palace.
Yeah. Looking at the money count that Linkforce and Cynas has, Zora's coming close to being in logic.
Well, Zora is already in logic. Zora logic doesn't take into consideration their rupees, but
oh really? I thought it did.
No, you always have the option to farm rupees, especially if you have a glove. But that doesn't. I mean, you always have the option. The game just doesn't take rupees into logic whatsoever, nor does it take bombs into logic. But because there's always ways you can get those.
Oh, really? I did not know that.
Yeah, so logically, the flippers already have unlocked Zora. It's just a matter of whether they're willing to do some of the checks or wait and see if they can go there with the 500 rupees, and they are pretty close.
That tree pull at the beginning of the game they did. That's a tier 3 tree pull, correct?
If they did not take damage, that is correct.
Neither of them did. It was $5. It was $5 from each drop.
So the tier 3 pull was the vanilla tier 2 pull. Nice game. Well, we haven't seen a stun prize yet, and with a hook shot, that might be an option coming up as well.
Yeah. And Cynas is gonna get he's gonna become well read here in a minute on things. That was a bad pun, man. I gotta step up my game.
Oh, we're gonna get the stun prize check. I like this a lot. It sounded like a heart. I didn't see it, but it sounded like a heart. Oh, it could have been an arrow. Oh no, was that a bomb? I legitimately have no idea. It might have been a bomb. It might have been like an 8 bomb or 10 bomb or something. Because they make the same noise as the heart, and it wasn't wafting as it fell. Yeah, it goes. Wait. Yeah, see. Wait.
Oh, I'm learning new things and stuff. Oh,
okay.
map check.
We do have a crystal, a vanilla green pendant. Yep, and we do have a crystal at Desert Palace. So that's one step closer to that book being required, but not quite yet.
Cynas is heading to Eastern, and Linkforce is doing the dam.
Yeah, I think that going the mini Moldorms here is a pretty good play since they've got hook shot and the mini Moldorms are ticklish and will die to one hit with the full beam.
Yeah. Also, they since he has he's following those flippers too. He's down here. He can. Oh, money. He's not gonna pass that up. Ooh, there's a glove and a bombos and a moon pearl.
Boy, howdy.
Wow.
There sure is all that stuff. So that's 2 of the 3 items required to get in the Dark World. They're going to either need another glove or a hammer. The Moon Pearl doesn't help them break into Waterfall Fairy since they already had flippers anyway. It's not a break. And here we go. We're going to use a hook shot to take out these mini Moldorms on Linkforce's side. I like it. He's really going to hope to pick up an extra 76 rupees because you need 500 rupees to check and see what King Zora has. Cynas, meanwhile, I think made the read on... wow, that's convenient, Linkforce. And a bottle. I think Cynus's read on Eastern Palace is mainly because it's a pendant. So even if he can't full clear it without the bow, and he's thinking he might not have to come back here anyway, so he may as well go ahead and check this out. And definitely getting some value out of Sahasrala's closet there.
Oh yeah. Well, any chest path. Oh, there's the big key. Like any chest, like with that hook shot, he can shorten up his route, and without the mirror, he can break logic to get any item behind said dark room. Both these runners are experienced at doing dark rooms, so
yeah,
we're good.
I don't think that either of them are going to be shy going into dark rooms without the lamp, especially since they have hook shot.
There's some love from the hobo.
All right, that's 1 of 3 items in Eastern Palace. Now it is a green pendant, so he will be orphaning at least the green pendant turn in if he finishes this without bow and can't go to the boss.
I'm not gonna lie. Oh, go ahead.
I mean, if he does find 3 items here, then I think he'll likely write it off for a very long time.
If it was me playing, I have to Google the dark rooms. I did that when I was messing around with that seed. I had to Google a dark room because
I keep a sheet of dark rooms, an actual printed out piece of paper on my desk.
Really?
So, yeah, it's only the Dark World. The funny thing, it's only the Dark World ones. It's only Pod, Misery Mire, and Turtle Rock. Does anybody know why? There's a reason for that. That I only have those 3.
Because those are the hardest?
That is true, but that's not the reason.
Okay, what's the reason?
It found a second item in the big chest, so we're either going to get I think he got the map, so the compass or the 3rd item, and that's going to be out of sequence since he doesn't have the lamp for these dark rooms. Linkforce going all the way to Ice Rod Cave and only getting a heart piece. But when I printed out that sheet of paper, those were the only dark rooms in the game. You used to get a free light cone in Light World dungeons and in the Overworld caves. Yep. So Eastern Palace didn't have a lamp requirement because you just got the light cone whether you had lamp or not, but Gracious Vitorp has taken that out since.
Of course.
All right, we have 4 items.
Blame the author of the. Blame the author.
Well, I did not even see Cynas do that dark room. He did it so fast. Also, it was dark. So yeah, we do have an item on Armos Knights proper as well as the green pendant. So that's 2 items Cynas can't get without the bow. And for his sake, we're gonna hope that they're nothing important because it's not going to be easy for him to route that back in. And I'm not saying that it was a good or bad call going to Eastern Palace. I think that checking those what they call Sphere 1 checks is generally pretty good. So I like the call. I just, there are ways that it can go in his favor and ways it can go against him. But certainly that Moon Pearl and the glove are already getting value out of the glove, checking out these 3 items in the back of Escape. And Cynas is going to take the key, immediately do the dark rooms, which... did they get the map in Sanctuary, or are they just hoping not to get it now?
I don't remember.
So I think Zora was a big bust there, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was just a heart. I was watching for Zora, see what the scam artist had. $500 of love.
Unfortunately, Cynas... well... He showed me. He got that key pretty easily. Unfortunately, you do have to get the key from the rat if you come to Dark Cross from the back. Gotta watch his health a little bit here.
And Linkforce heading up to eastern area and
Alright,
seeing
so
what
Cynas is in the room with the chest, and he might be able to find it fairly easily with the hook shot.
Nope. Oh, there it is.
There we
arrows.
go. It's 10 arrows, but it was an item that is not going to be, scratching at the back of his head later on. And Linkforce goes to Hospitalist Closet, gets Moon Pro Glove and Vamos. And looks to be going to Eastern as well, so...
Cynas gonna do his... Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, you go ahead. You were saying it. Saying what I was saying.
Yeah, great minds think alike. Cynas is heading down to his South Shore checks and gonna find the exact... Like, they're just passing each other over. Now, with their item layout, I have a feeling that there is progression in Blue Brimstar.
In Blue Brinstar. I mean, that's true. The high jump boots will put the ceiling item in logic.
Yeah.
Now. Yeah, that's a good point.
That puts 2 items in logic in Super Metroid. So
yeah, the original Morph Ped plus the one that they could have gotten with the damage boost, but now can just get easily with high jump boots. Right.
So they got 2 items there. Let's see, what else do they got?
The Gina, front of escape, Beltacell, and all that nonsense.
Yeah. Yeah, the map might be there, I think. I don't know.
Yeah, still got 2 chests on the way, though.
And both the runners have fallen into the pit.
And following in each other's footsteps to the T there.
Get out of my head.
Oh, that's another check. Thanks for the reminder, Cynas. We still have to see what's on Sick Kid.
Oh, yeah. Sick Kid is still in play as well.
So yeah, I feel like that high jump boots at this point is borderline a fetch quest. I would actually like to see them route, use the glove to get up to Death Mountain through the Dark Cave. It's a sequence break, but simple enough. Go up to the Norfair portal and check Red Tower on their way back up to Crateria before heading to those checks. I kind of like doing out-of-the-way checks like that when I can route them better, but honestly, it's probably better just to wait for Morph Ball, but...
I'm kind of a scaredy cat when it comes to things like that. Like I was playing that Seed again. I'm gonna use that as a reference. I'm like, I really don't want to go to Fantoon. I don't like fighting Fantoon. I had 4 energy tanks. I had both sets of armor. I knew I was safe, but I was still scared of Fantoon. It's just I'm just weird. Now, we watch Linkforce. If you can find Linkforce on the screen, congratulations, because I can't see him. Oh, there he is. She's got hit, I think. Does he have enough health to do this damage boost into this chest?
2 hearts here. It looks like he's just going for kills, but he doesn't have enough pots. So, he's going to use
bomb strats.
That's fine. He can use the hook shot on that little tentacle monster, but it's fine. Heart container from Hobo. Oh, it's a sank cart. That's neat. Alright, Linkforce looks either to be going up Death Mount. Oh, he's going to do back of escape since you just got Glove, right? That's a pretty nice check.
Oh, no, he's not going to back of escape. He's going up Death Mountain.
He's either doing that or checking Sick Kid.
Sick Kid.
Yeah, no, Linkforce follows the Link to the Past randomizer reigning champion, Jet082. And Jet082 always makes a priority to turn in his fetch quest.
And Sick Kid
But
has
he doesn't play SMZ3, so...
Ice beam. That's a good find.
It's okay. So, fun fact is in the most recent version, bottles always get green goo and thrown into the ponds here, and they always
Y-
come empty.
You know,
So,
I was. Oh, go ahead.
oh, I was just gonna say, Ice Beam's not really a fantastic item at this point, to be perfectly honest. The one
True.
thing that it might do is allow them to clear out Meridia out of logic, but with high jump boots, Ice Beam is devalued significantly.
Mm.
Wow, what is going on with this bush?
It's the
Maybe
super
because he's
bush.
hooking. Oh no, but he hooked across the shallow water. What happened?
I have no idea.
It looks like Linkforce also gets his 10 arrows out of the dark cross here. But at any rate, Ice Beam is a good item, and it's an item that you want by the end of the run. However, it's not going to help them out for a while. It's like finding Canis Samaria or Ice Rod early on in Link to the Past Rando. Like, okay, I'm going to need this in 30 minutes. Like,
With the two pendant. Oh, that reminds me. With two pendants still floating out there, Turtle Rock may be a pendant or a crystal. And it looks like
True.
Cynas is just going up north to Death Mountain and gonna sequence break this.
Yeah, I definitely like this call. There's no reason really not to go save the old man as soon as you can, because it gives you a checkpoint for later. It's also going to allow him to get one item inside Spectacle Rock, check out another on top of Spectacle Rock, and also make a couple
Death
extra
Mountain.
Metroid checks.
Paradox Cave. He has access to Paradox Cave.
Oh, they do have hookshot. That's correct. All right. Yeah, it's even better than I was saying. Good call.
So, I mean, there's a lot of checks there, but I got a feeling Linkforce is going to follow the logic and go down to Blue Brimstar. Or prove me wrong again. He's going to do something.
We're still checking some more Sphere 1 checks here with the front of the castle, right?
Yeah. You know, usually I can predict where runners go, but man, Linkforce and Cynas are throwing me off.
Well, there's a lot to do. It's hard to guess. We're just
The old man.
just listing the options that they have open at this point. We all know Morph Ball is going to be on Agena anyway, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, alright. So, I got a question. If Morph Ball is on Desert Ledge, do you immediately go kill Ganon? I mean, as soon as you
Is
can.
that a trick
There are
question?
2 items from being able to get that book.
Is that a trick question?
I mean, you couldn't get into Lower Norfair the front way without Morph Ball. Vanilla E-Tank in that can room, very nice. Better than 0. And Nab's the Nova, so he doesn't have to wait for him to walk all the way around. And yeah, we're gonna get a trip back to Death Mountain and get the East checks, I think.
Yeah, that makes me wonder if Morph Ball is. I mean, if I was good at dark rooms, I would so totally take it up on that. But I'm not that great at dark rooms, so that's an X-ray beam. And Linkforce knows that the map is in Zelda's cell, so
yeah, that's part of the payoff of checking Dark Cross while you're in the back.
Mm-hmm. Where's Linkforce going? Agena.
Just gonna see the Morph Ball on the Desert Ledge, right?
Yep. Now, I found out something interesting when I was messing around with this said seed. If you come in, if you have not rescued the old man yet, and you come in from Super Metroid into Link to the Past, and you go into the old man, because I went in there, I'm like, I'm gonna get his health. I haven't saved him, and he was there. You can heal him. Like, there's 2 old men.
Oh yeah, if you go inside the cave where he lives and refills your health, yeah, there's no flag set to check if he's supposed to be in there.
Yeah. He just assumes that he just appeared to like, hey, I'm gonna heal you, but I'm not gonna give you anything. Another bottle.
Another bottle.
And super missiles.
Alright, that's pretty good. What was on the Desert Ledge? Chat.
Chat, what was on the desert ledge? I missed it.
Oh,
Ooh,
baby.
Titans-man.
So,
Flute.
flute. Well, they can get the desert. Well, they still need the mirror. All right. Wow, that's huge. So
Oh,
that allows them to get in a desert palace as soon as they grab mirror, and thus won't need the book to get in there at least. Where'd that bomb go? Oh, he didn't lay it down.
oh. Apparently, desert ledge was not checked.
Okay.
Now, all these checks that Cynas is getting is technically out of logic.
Mm-hmm. Well, the flute's gonna, or rather, the lamp is gonna put them in logic, and the lamp's logically required to kill Aghanim anyway.
So yeah, that's true.
So it's
Cynas
not
getting
as
dead rocked.
fantastic as I made it out to be. That is a bad position. He just wants to see what's up there.
I think it was the shades that said that the dead rocks are the most most trolly enemy.
I think they're the most
troll.
sentient.
Most
sentient AI,
non-boss.
basically. They know what's going on.
The most non-boss trolly enemy.
What boss is trollier than a dead rock?
Non-boss.
Right, but that's
Trolldorm.
I don't think. I beg to differ. I think a dead rock is more trolly than Trolldorm. And Trolldorm's only trolly because of the pits. It's not really his fault. It's whoever put him there.
Well, no. I mean, like he said, non-boss.
I know, but I'm going to go
boss.
further and say that they're most trolly enemy in the game, boss or not.
Okay. I see where you're going with this. And Cynas is going to take that glove and everything and go to Dark Death Mountain. He has access to Hookshop. Yeah, Hookshop. Ooh, we got a map check. 5/6 crystal and pod and ice. TR is a crystal. Myers a pendant. Swamp's a pendant. And crystals on Skull Woods and Thieves Town. Well, that's an interesting map layout. I need to cut down on my monster. I'm getting too excited over here.
Aw.
I was about to do the same thing. Oh boy. Linkforce is going to be excited to see what he gets in his Paradox Cave.
I hope he gets a gold glove.
Oh, I know. I hope he gets the flute. I'm looking forward to it.
You're on. Power bomb's real nice to grab early.
Hey, there's that flute.
Alright, so we're going to scope the T-Rock lock, and we are going to get 4 items in Hookshot Cave.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if Link can play Carry On Wayward Son. With that flute.
This isn't... Oh, Bamos. Very convenient. This isn't Zelda 1 randomizer where you get Megalovania and Battle on the Big Bridge and all those neat songs from the
Oh, really?
Or from the
recorder. I was just joking around. I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah,
there's
baby. Okay, this is pretty big. Because listen, obviously it's big because they found Morph Ball, but it's logically locked behind the lamp, right? We know that the flute wasn't meant to get them up to Death Mountain because the flute was on Death Mountain. So if they need lamp, which it's a really nice convenience item, and also possibly required, to finish Desert Palace. You need it for Desert Palace. Sometimes you need it for Tower of Hera as well. So lamp could be required, and it's going to be nice to get. And we know that it's not locked behind Morph Ball.
Oh,
and
man.
Depending on Cynas' power bomb count here, he might head into Super Metroid or not. At any rate, he's going to check the front of Escape first.
He has that red ring too, which is nice. And Linkforce, he's gonna go get his ball of glory.
Yeah, this is gonna even up the runners quite a bit. And Cynas also checked Dark Cross, so he should know that he's still hasn't gotten the map. And actually, you think he was switching over to Hookshot, but he was looking to see if he got the map. Oh, and Linkforce gets that clip that Cynas missed earlier. So, once they reset and head on into Planet Zebes, we're gonna see just who's in the lead.
Well, they've done the same check, so whoever goes in Link to the Past, whoever goes in Super Metroid first will get an accurate powerbomb count and stuff like that.
Except, I don't think Cynas went over to Agena and checked the desert area yet.
It was super missiles, so
Right, Agena had super missiles, but I don't think Cynas has done that shit.
he might fly over there. You know what he might do is fly over there, or they might go activate their flute real quick, fly over there, check Myers Shed and Desert Ledge and all that good stuff.
They could, but
I mean,
I'm just gonna watch them and see what they do. They have a lot of options right now. It'd be hard to guess.
the whole world is their oyster right now.
Well, no, the oysters are the guys that fly around on Zebes. So the oyster world is the Super Metroid.
See, I'd like to know how some people just like quickly open the map, look at it real quick, and figure out where the crystals and everything is.
Kind of take like a snapshot of it, and then just like go back. Like I have a photographic memory, but the photos only last for like half a second. So I have to say it out loud. I have more of like an audio memory than visual when it comes to quick snippets like that. And Cynas, unfortunately, is gonna go ahead and grab his map out of Zelda's cell here.
I have like I figure things out by touching and stuff like that. So if I can touch it and watch it, that's how I correlate my stuff. That's what makes me good at my job. If I can I can see what my hands are doing. I'm a tactile learner. There we go.
Gotcha. Well, Linkforce
just got
the first sword out of the high jump room, and he is the first one to enter Super Metroid with the Morph Ball. Able to grab 2 items that Cynas has not, and he has 10 power bombs, which is a comfy amount for now.
He's gonna go backwards through Brimstar, maybe after he checks to find out what Crocomeyer's items are.
That's an option, sure.
Cynas did not Linkforce did not activate his flute. He just went into Super Metroid and like, yep, I'm here now. This is my life. Nope.
Well, with Titan's Mitts and Moon Pearl, coming to activate the flute could combo with a few good checks as well.
Oh, yeah.
Cynas doesn't have a sword, though, so it's going to be tough to do any dungeons, and he won't guarantee a full clear of Thieves Town without Hammer, but it's also checking Sick Kid, so that's good.
Linkforce doing a hard reset to get himself back at the ship to do stuff and things. And
and that's really clever. Every time you go through one of the cross-world portals, the game auto-saves and puts your checkpoint at the ship on Zebes' surface. So he knows when he went into the Death Mountain portal, came into Norfair, he can go ahead, check a couple of items, and then reset, or go, if he likes what he found there, which he liked the sword, go back into Death Mountain, get the autosave again, and then reset. Keep the sword from the autosave, and teleport straight back up here so we can check Gauntlet, which I don't think is in logic right now, funnily enough.
Alright, I think we have a question on how this crossover works. I'm going to, if I remember correctly, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I might be. If I'm correct, both these games share different spaces in SRAM, if I'm correct, right?
You lost me at...
Both these games, like items and stuff, share different spots in the SRAM of the game. So the items that are in Super Metroid and Link to the Past are separated, like in the cartridge.
That's a question for Total. I honestly, I can't tell you how he works with Magic.
When I first started commentating,
being the creator of the crossover rando, but yeah, go ahead.
When I first started this is like I'm remembering. I wanted to know, and I think I'm right. But if I'm wrong, someone please blast me in chat, because if I'm given wrong information, I want to be blasted for it, and someone correct me. Apparently I'm correct. both these games have different spots in SRAM, which means that the items, the only thing that shares kind of a similar is the map in Super Metroid. For some reason, it's ooh, that's a nice rod
that we require for Turtle Rock, yeah.
But the items and stuff share different spots, so that allows both games to run simultaneously. As for the item, how the items get to the other world, I have no idea, but they only work and connected because you're going through, or it's because of the different states of SRAM.
Do you want to hear a fun fact about the item codes?
Yeah.
They're different between Link to the Past and Super Metroid, but also, did you know that the item codes in Super Metroid are each 2 bytes, and the items in Link to the Past are each only 1 byte?
Really?
Mm-hmm. And part of the reason is that Super Metroid actually requires 3 codes for each item. One if it's out in the open, one if it's in a Chozo ball, and a third one if it's behind a wall here. Not
really?
Here, because these are open items. Yep, so it's got open items, Chozo ball item.
Ooh, that's a charge beam on Stumpy.
On a little Stumpy, and our 15th power bomb for Linkforce. That's a really nice find. Probably, I like that. Going straight through Gauntlet, you're already here, you're going to pick that up and you're going to enjoy it. But if you had checked it from the back, you're probably not likely to go out of your way. Let's see if he remembers Gauntlet. This is a key check. I already got cats.
And arrows.
You may as well pick that up now, because when you're on your way to Torian, you're probably going to trip over it by mistake. And as far as the question in chat goes, if they were looking for a technical answer, then that's great information. But if you just want to know how do you actually play this darn thing, well, there are 4 doors in Super Metroid that connect to 4 doors in Link to the Past. So we've already seen 2 of them, and it's a red cave for Cynas, so good hype cave.
And the lamp. Okay, so the lamp is locked behind Dark World. So
that's true. So the hammer has to come before Morph.
Yeah, hammer. Yeah, okay, hammer. Yeah, you're right. Our hammer is somewhere in this game, or of course somewhere in this game. But
so the sequence
you know what I mean.
They got the gloves, so then the sequence goes: lamp, Titan's mitt, lamp, Titan's mitt, morph ball. Right. So that hammer has to come before the Titan's mitt, so it therefore has to come before morph ball. That's fantastic information if they can put that all together during the stress of tournament race here.
So
and we know Aghanim's out of the question because Lamp was also locked behind. Lamp was also in the Dark World, so Aghanim was not the logical access to Dark World. Meridia Portal was not because they didn't have Morph Ball. So Hammer has to be pretty early on in the seed.
Blue Rimstar?
Well, I think Linkforce is going to find that out for us soon enough.
And it looks like he's going to be farming up some power bombs and stuff.
Yeah, going to have to be careful with his health. He doesn't necessarily want to...
Ooh! Oh, he fell!
Yeah, so one item he saw was a bomb capacity upgrade he doesn't need, but behind the green door lies another item that he's going to have to go around the long way to get.
And he's going to take some safety health right here.
Yeah, it doesn't have the luxury to damage boost across all of those spikes anymore. Alright, looks like Cynas is going to head into the mire area.
The hammer cannot be behind Morph. Or behind Mushroom. Because you needed the Morph Ball to get... You needed the Morph Ball to get to the Mushroom. And that being said, you needed... yeah.
Where was the Mushroom?
The Mushroom was in Criteria Reserve in the back. Morph was in...
You mean... okay, so the Gauntlet-y tank.
Yeah, Gauntlet.
That could be locked behind a screw attack, actually. You mean the Chozo statue after they went through the room with the acid and all the pillars he had to bomb through? Oh, wow, almost. There we go, Linkforce. You got this, buddy.
An E-tank.
So the Criteria energy tank could be locked behind a screw attack. and not
Cynas
require
checking
more code.
Norfair.
Yeah. And
Crazy.
again, he took the third cross-world portal that we've seen in this run. Every time you go through one of those, autosave puts you back on the ship when you reset. So just throwing in one extra item check here before he heads back up to Super Metroid landing site and all the goodies.
And Cynas is gonna get his ice rod.
So yeah, so the game wanted you to get the glove, the moon pearl, and the hammer. Go into Hype Cave for the lamp, then go up to Death Mountain to get flute and Titan's mitts, and then Dark World Death Mountain to get the morph ball. So we talked a lot about logic and sequence break and all those things. So do you want to explain what does logic mean and why do runners sometimes break the logic, and what are the benefits to doing so?
Well, as for what logic is,
where was?
What was what?
I didn't see. Where was Mushroom?
Mushroom was behind the
Brimstar Reserve.
Brimstar.
Okay, I'm sorry.
In Green Brimstar.
Okay. Yeah, go on with the logic and sequence breaks and all that. Sorry.
Items. The way logic works, and I might butcher this, so if I'm wrong, please correct me, Cross, because you do more of these than I do. But I'm going to try my best to explain it. Basically, you need a set of items to get somewhere. For example, in order, like what we were talking about, in order to get the morph ball, it was because of where it was located, it was in Dark Death Mountain in Hookshot Cave. Well, we needed a few items to get there. One, we needed the hookshot. Well, the hookshot was in a chest or out in the open in the Lost Woods. Well, we also need another item to get there. We needed the lamp, or we needed the gloves.
Well, I would say the game thinks that you need lamp. A sequence break is when you do things without the items the game thinks you need. The game thinks you need a lamp to go through the dark rooms, right? And here's another one. The game thinks Linkforce needs a wave beam to bust open this gate, but he's proven it wrong. And whenever you sequence break an item, like whenever you go through a room that the game thinks needs a lamp, then whatever you find behind that room will help you narrow down the location of that lamp. And this is one of the more cerebral aspects of doing a randomizer, and really this isn't limited to Link to the Past or Super Metroid.
Like what Cynas just, I'm sorry for interrupting, what Cynas just did in that room to speed boost across, he used a technique called the mock ball, and that is a sequence break.
So it was behind the reserve tank, so that does require a morph ball, you're correct. Did he not get that mushroom? Did he pick it up?
Now, thinking about it, no. Well, there's many ways you could get you need morph ball to get that item no matter what.
Right, you would I mean logically you do require speed booster to get that item as well, since the mock ball Cynas did wasn't in logic, as you said. Cynas has a really nice luxury item right now that Linkforce did not, and that is Charge Beam. Alright, so
that's a blue cane.
There's an item that we don't really care about when we're... Oh man, Cynas with the clutch wall jump.
Hammer! I called it! I called it! That was in Blue Brimstar.
That's fantastic. All that sequence breaking. Just to find Hammer on the first item in the game.
I called it. I said progression. Oh, that's a plasma beam.
That's a good item too. Yeah, depending on what you have to do, you would prefer plasma, you would prefer charge, but yeah, that was really good info from the sequence break. It helped us narrow down the location very well, but for the runner's perspective, the information didn't really aid them in any way, so it's just hilarious. Just like anytime you do a sequence break, you're trying to think of, what items do I need to pick up before I'm back in logic? And you're like, all right, I need the hammer. The hammer's got to be soon. Where's that hammer? And there it is. It's like all that information you juggled in your head for the last 40 minutes just did not matter. And that happens too sometimes.
I forgot where Charge Beam was.
Old Stumpy.
Oh yeah. So when Linkforce finds that Charge Beam, he's gonna be happy. But he's decked out in beams, and Cynas will be decked out in beams.
And Linkforce does not have enough power bombs to check the climb supers. It's a little time costly to check it. High jump boots makes the wall jumps a little better, but you'll require speed booster to get the item logically, and most people practically as well. But at any rate, you need 3 power bombs just to check that one item, and Link wants to use his remaining 2 power bombs for 2 other checks. Although he might have checked 230 already, but he's going to want to use 1 for Old Mother Brain. And doesn't have 3 anyway, so if he did try to check Climb Supers, he'd be soft locked. Now, Cynas will have the advantage of the 4th power bomb pack, and if he has enough ammo, he'll be able to get 1 extra check on Linkforce, but again, I said it's a little costly just to check it out and not be able to pick it up with the speed without having the speed booster, right? So he may or may not do that.
That's a fire rod.
We actually have we can full clear Turtle Rock right now, right?
It isn't
the 44 minute full clear Turtle Rock. That's crazy.
Oh, that's a fun time.
So yeah, they got Titan's Mitts, Hammer, both rods, Red Cane, Lamp, Bombos to get in. I mean,
let's go.
It's just the dream.
Yeah,
how first player in your low
Solsky would say, let's go, let's do it. We're going.
Speaking of Solsky, he's one that is particular against checking that Climb Supers item when you don't have speed boost. Whatever. I just like to check pretty much anything that's in the remote area of where I happen to be, and prioritizing checks isn't really my strong suit, and probably my main source of losing time. That and just being bad. Like, oh, let me go for this damage boost and get like knocked on the other side of the room, and then like shine spark vertically when I'm trying to get like all this stuff. Anyway, I'm sure I'm not the only one who has made some mistakes like that. I did forget to check this tube missile once.
Yeah, that item, I was, you know, the Switch has you can play Super Metroid on the Switch now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was playing that, and I'm going through, and I'm like, I'm missing an item. I'm sitting there running all over the place.
Man.
My brother's like, "What are you looking
your
for?"
Map out.
I'm like, "I'm missing an item." He's like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "I'm missing an item. I don't have enough missiles."
Playing Super Metroid on the Switch is a nightmare for anybody who plays it with any frequency on its original console.
I play it on an emulator on my computer, and it's still a nightmare for me.
Yeah. I think the lack of good controller options for Super Nintendo games is up there.
Yeah, that's true. Now, Linkforce might go down Red Tower.
I'm looking at a full clear wreck ship here. I mean, I've got Charge Beam, so I can have the safest Phantoon fight. I have Grapple Beams, so it's in logic. We are going to have to leave behind the item behind the orange door in the landing site, since we don't have a can fly option. Basically, we'll need speed booster, space jump, or morph bombs to get up to that ledge.
Now this is an interesting check, and it's a good check on Linkforce's part, always to see what's on that item. Oh yeah, this is in logic.
Yeah, he's got the grapple beam, but yeah, just checking the item on the moat pedestal here. That's in logic as soon as you grab morph ball and power bombs, right? So, I mean, I guess super missiles as well, but. Yeah, that item has a far smaller logical requirement than everything else Link's going to check here. Alright, so Linkforce can shoot out this block without using one of his power bombs, and he knows it. Having high jump boots in this room is kind of a hindrance, but with the grapple beam, I think it'll be okay. You don't want to jump too high and bonk on the ceilings there.
All right, we're getting in wrecked ship now. This is nice to find.
Yeah, honestly, I think the only item. What do they need anything for Link to the Past now other than mirror and bow? Like they don't need the ether because they don't necessarily need to do Misery Mire unless it's just to grab an item. I mean, they need one more sword, of course. But yeah, there are very few items that they actually need for Link to the Past. So
Where was the red cane? I missed that.
it was somewhere in either game.
Nice location.
uh,
Let's see. What do
I
they need?
honestly don't remember.
They don't need the mirror because swamp is a pendant.
So what was up there in the climb supers? I made a big deal to
missiles.
call out. Okay, I made a big deal to mention that Cynas could check it, and wasn't paying attention. Oops.
They need the bow. They got the. Oh yeah. They got the. They just need the bow, and maybe the boots, if the key. Kane was in High Cave.
They're gonna need mirror to get into Desert Palace at least, and it's Swamp Palace is a pendant, so they'll either need mirror or they'll need to kill Ganon to get into Desert Palace. So Plasma Beam here is going to do 450 damage. If Link Force turns on Ice Beam, it's 600, which is equivalent to a Super Missile. You okay?
No, I was.
No?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay.
I'm thinking. Yeah, bow's the only thing we need, unless Super Metroid protection.
Well, again, they're gonna either need mirror or Pegasus boots and kill Ganon to get in the Desert Palace, which is Crystal.
Yeah.
But yeah, then bow, obviously. And that's a hard requirement for Eastern Palace, as well as Pod, which are both crystals. Oh, nice high jump boots. Alcatraz escape for Cynas. That's a difficult trick enough without the high jump boots, but when you have the risk of bonking really early.
So it took me about 20 minutes to do that one day. I was practicing it.
Nice.
20 minutes.
If I were refilling at the ship, I might have just power bomb. Oops. And Plasma Beam will kill these atomics, and Link Force can grab a couple of not atomics, the pipey dude.
Oh, Cynas is gonna be able to do X-ray on Fantoon.
That's true. He has an option for an easy one-round Fantoon fight. That's a good point.
I was practicing those tricks because just for jokes and stuff.
Cool, nice entry too. We'll see if Cynas picks up some time on his wreck ship execution here.
That's a Quake.
Cynas likes to scout this item ahead of time. I'm personally against it, but I know some runners that have clearly better times than I do that like to check it, so I don't...
I mean, if I have space jump, I'll check it, but other than that...
Yeah, I could see it being a little easier with space jump or even speed booster and shine spark up there, but...
Oh, I can't.
It doesn't take very long to get it from up top anyway.
I can't I can't shine spark to save my life. I have I can go vertical and at an angle. I can't just go straight. Like
I'll tell you, dude. It's easy. There's a very simple trick to it.
Please teach me your wisdom.
Press jump, and then just after you press jump, press right or left, depending on which way you want to go. Yep, just jump and then right or left. Hold jump the whole time. So you
gotta hold jump the whole time.
You have to hold in jump, and then right after you press the jump, go left or right, and you'll shine.
I let go of jump. That's what happens. I let go of jump.
So the thing is, I'm gonna make an in-depth tutorial on doing shine sparks, but for right now, I'll say you won't activate your shine spark until you are holding jump plus a direction. Now, if you let go of jump, you're going to go through the timer. So you'll either activate the shine spark by holding jump in a direction, or the game gives you a 30-frame window to do that. If the 30-frame window expires without you giving the correct input, then it automatically does it straight up. So if you're letting go of jump, 30 frames later, you'll go straight up by default. There you go. You wanted technical information from me, and you got it.
Hey, I mean, certain things I know, casual player and somewhat knowledgeable because I've commentated so many races with so many runners. It's one of those things and I've watched so many races over the year, 2 years. Oh, Cynas not going, or there he goes. And this is the microwave. And there's Fantoon down. That was simple and easy. Alright, Linkforce clearing out attic, finding, I can't remember what, in right side of attic.
I don't remember what was at the E-Tank location, but I do know that Linkforce reset out of it. So if Cynas also does a save scum there, that's going to be the optimal method.
Now, Linkforce is checking this item, which is good, but...
did he turn off high jump boots?
Mm-hmm.
That's a real good help there. So, fun fact, it's just a super missile pack. X-ray scope works on Chozo balls, but not on items hidden in the walls. And
really?
I have no idea why. Yeah, if you try,
is that a vanilla thing?
It's not. It's exclusive to the SMZ3 combo rando, and I have no idea what the reason is. But if there's an item inside of a wall and you try to X-ray scope it, then you get part of the graphic of the orange door.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's so weird. So here's a fun item Linkforce has to get now with that. But if he turns on Ice Beam, this is going to be real easy.
I think he has Ice Beam on.
I think he turned it off, and I definitely agree with turning off Ice Beam, early on in a run. This is a really tricky wall jump, but if you freeze him, it's real simple. Cynas is making his way to wreck ship E-Tank. He did safety save / safety save.
Missiles in the sky.
It's this guy. And he's got attack on B. That's interesting. Everyone has their own control schemes, and some of us, myself included, have some questionable schemes. And Cynas does not like his heart container either. Sad. But yeah, that is a joint save scum because I don't want to walk back if the item stinks, and don't want to die because spiky platforms deal 200 damage. And these spikes will deal 60, so we got a little bit of leeway for the Linkforce here. Kago, that happens, man, when you morph at the wrong time and just clip through the hand.
Well, wrecked ship's really not paying off. So far.
Other than it being a crystal dungeon.
Yeah.
But we've got 2 more items. Keep your fingers crossed.
Yeah.
And both runners are full clearing it, so it's gonna be an execution race as far as wrecked ship is concerned.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's just money. That's what that item was.
Watching these runners for about an hour, it seems like Cynas has a Super Metroid advantage, and Linkforce may have a slight Link to the Past advantage. Or they might be pretty close. It's really hard to say.
I think Cynas has. Ooh, there's ether. We have
Yeah,
all
we
our
got
medallions.
2 medallions here. So yeah, the Quake medallion isn't required. We've already checked both requirements, but yeah, there's the gravity suit, the last item in Wreck Ship having the medallion required to get into Pendant Misery Mire. Which, by the way, is full clearable right now.
Yeah, that's 2 dungeons. Yeah, so is Thieves Town.
That's true. The hammer was a nice acquisition for a full clear Thieves Town. Yeah, so we're probably going to see... and Cynas using the Ice Beam here, so... You do have to wait for this little guy to unfreeze, but it's better than waiting for him to fly all the way to the right, I believe.
Where was
nice
that
shot.
Sword?
There was a sword at high jump boots.
Oh yeah, Cynas couldn't check it.
Right.
So
He hasn't gone back there to get more.
Yeah. So Linkforce having that sword puts a somewhat of advantage in Link to the Past on him, but not much. But once Linkforce goes back to Hype Cave, gets his mirror and gets his red cane,
Cynas just tanking the spikes like a boss. What grapple beam? Not sure which is faster, but he definitely had more health coming into this room than Linkforce did.
Yeah. Linkforce lucking out and getting an energy tank at
pre-opening the door. So this item at the top of Red Tower, the first item in this room was in logic as soon as they picked up a lamp.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's assuming they had gone by logic instead of doing dark rooms. But I'm glad to see that both runners did do the dark room clears, and we're gonna have a nice.
Oh, those are silver arrows.
And 5 extra pockets for the silver arrows.
All right, where's that bow?
Yeah, I don't see Cynas missing that, so it's gonna be a nice, well, comfy round 4 for Ganon. We've yet to see a tempered sword.
You know, we were talking about what's clearable in Link to the Past right now. I just now
very
realized
nice.
something.
So, I just want to point out, Cynas did a beautiful job laying that power bomb at the right height so that it would bounce him back up and keep him on the screen with the item as it was revealed, and sees that it's just a super missile.
I would like to point out. Remember when we were talking about what's clearable? All we need is a bow for what?
Yes.
We were talking about like all we technically need is a bow for go mode.
I said bow and either mirror or Pegasus boots.
Well, yeah. We don't need a mirror because Swamp is a
for Desert
Swamp.
Palace. We need mirror or book from the Lumberjack to get into Desert Palace.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I know, it was so long ago. I almost forgot too.
Anyway, but I just now realized something. If no matter what, we need the boots, or we may need, or we're gonna need the boots, maybe. Yeah, maybe. Because
go on.
Yeah, what I'm just saying what you were said earlier. Never mind, ignore me.
If they get the mirror, then they won't need the boots. Well,
yeah, that's what I was
boot locked anyway, and Ganon's tower.
That's what I was like. That's why I was trying to word it the right way.
There's always a possibility of needing boots because of Ganon's tower torch, right?
Yeah, that's true too.
There's always a possibility of needing boots. That's where we're going with that. Okay.
Yeah.
True. But boots also lets them get the book on the Lumberjack shelf. Let's do that mirror in Desert Palace, huh?
Oh, that would. Don't be that guy.
All right, so my official guess: mirror is in Misery Mire. So they either have to go into Pendant Mire or kill Aghanim to beat the game. Say that. But if they do get the mirror out of Pendant Mire, they can immediately go into Swamp Palace, and that would be great.
Well, no, I'm gonna one-up you real quick. Here's what mirror will have to be in Misery Mire on Vitreous, okay?
Sure.
Mirror on Vidi, and then you have Varia on
Fortunately,
Argus.
Linkforce has a lot of health, but it's not easy to get out of that pit without the gravity suit. You do have a couple options. You can freeze the Yapping Maul or use a super missile, but yeah, go on. Mirror on Eyeball Man. What's up?
and then Varia on Argus, and
I don't necessarily want to be here for 4 hours, but I'm committed to it if it's required.
I'm just saying, there's like, if you want bad luck on like having the mirror in measure, I'm gonna go all the way. I'm gonna full tilt it.
Cynas taking this room extra safe since he doesn't have any suits. And yeah, I'll grab those rupees. I might want to buy some potions, especially if I'm going into pod without bow. I'm going to try not to go into pod without bow since I can full clear Thieves Town and Turtle Rock right now. Without a Master Sword, yeah, that sounds great. Oh!
Well,
Cynas can't get into Turtle Rock because he doesn't have a sword.
Oh, that's true. Because he hasn't done high jump. He hasn't finished that high jump.
But there are 3 other swords we haven't seen, so he could get lucky.
A way to get to the point of that situation about the sword. You really spliced through that conversation. Yeah,
I realized little.
Yeah, that was bad. That was a bad attempt. I'm trying to be punny, but like they're not rolling. Like the way these items are coming in on this seed particular, there's really no way to slice it. You know.
Yeah, I guess you can't always have a charge beam and see how. So.
Now, can you can you do can you microwave trade?
No, because the plasma shots don't go through him. Same reason you can't microwave Ridley, because the plasma shots despawn when they hit him. Fun fact: you can soft lock on, or you can not soft lock. You can actually hard lock the game on Kraid.
Really?
But that would require a wave beam. All right, so if you kill Kraid with a beam shot before he starts the stand-up animation, then the game doesn't know what to do and just freezes. So
really?
But it's really hard to do it by accident. You pretty much have to know what you're doing and go in there intending to freeze the game. So if you want to do it, here's how. You need a full beam combo, charge ice wave plasma, not Spazer obviously. Charge ice wave plasma that deals 900 damage. You start off by shooting a missile. Kraid won't stand up until he takes 200 damage. So the missile will bring him the 900 energy, and then a charge shot will kill him without starting the stand-up animation and the game freezes. So, missile, full charge shot, GG.
And it'll hard lock the game?
Missile, charge shot, find a new game to speedrun.
Oh, I'm going to try that in my test run. I am so going to try that.
It works in the practice hack.
I'm going to try it. I want to see if I've never seen that.
Well, Cynas doesn't have a wave beam, so...
Yeah, he doesn't have full beams.
Yeah,
He's
once you
off by
shoot a second missile, he starts the stand-up animation, so you really need a full beam combo to do it. Actually, now I'm curious. What if you killed him with a hyper beam? Because a hyper beam does 1,000 damage, Kraid has 1,000 health. What if you just came in here with hyper beam, shot him in the mouth? I'm pretty sure the game would freeze there, too.
Oh, I'm going to test it out.
Yeah, that's easy enough. With the practice hack, you can just turn on Hyper Beam.
Oh, I'm gonna see
how that goes.
I will message you. I will directly message you and find out, because I gotta find that out. I might have tempted.
Linkforce is making a great play going straight into Turtle Rock. Now, a fighter sword isn't the best loadout for Trinex. I maybe would have picked up a couple potions because I'm a baby, but. You can kill Trinex with just a hammer and...
No, he's going to Tower of Hera.
That's a better play. He won't be able to check the Ether Tablet because he hasn't killed Aganim. And this dungeon's kind of stinky poo without the mirror, so...
Now, Aga... Remember, chat, Aga could still be required.
Yeah, we could have a required item on...
A tablet.
It could still be, yeah, bow on Ether Tablet. And at this point, bow is the only hard required item left. We do have kind of a bare minimum item requirement for sequence breaking the heck out of Super Metroid and just finishing it as we are now. It could be done. But it's not fun. It's not that it is fun. I lied. Everything about
Linkforce is setting up for a trick that I don't
highly recommend speedrunning it. But yeah, we're doing a Haripot glitch here. Has a slightly different setup than I do, but I'm sure he knows what he's doing.
It's bootless.
Boots aren't required. You just need to line up on the correct pixel. But yeah, I mean, 20 power bombs is pretty low. I'd look for some more E-tanks, a couple power bomb packs instead of, before doing a suitless lower warfare run. And with high jump boots, ice beam, and grapple beam, that's a pretty standard loadout for suitless Meridia in some of the speedrun categories of Super Metroid. Some of the meaning RBO, but high jump boots, ice grapple is pretty much what you need to get out of there in RBO. And yeah, there's the sword for Cynas. And Linkforce is just gonna quit while he's ahead. Well, he has 1 heart left. I think that's the main motivation for giving up on the Haripot. Also, only 2 bombs.
Oh.
Alright. He does hit the safety crystal, so he has the option to farm some hearts under the pots before fighting Moldorm. And Cynas, with that sword, also has a full clearable turtle rock.
Hey, those are morph ball bombs.
That's wonderful, and gives them access to exactly 1 item for this entire game.
What item?
The Criteria Power Bomb location. Again, it's another item that's slightly less valuable since they have high jump boots right up there with the ice beam. Oh, come on, Cynas. You get a refill when you pick that up. It's worth going. So Cynas is doing some more sequence breaks. We are playing on the normal logic, which would logically, again, if you're keeping up with the previous conversation, logically require the Varia suit to mitigate heated damage. Now, only Varia suit prevents heat damage. Gravity suit will not. That is a change from vanilla behavior as well.
And that's just to make sure, that's more
because
of
gravity suit is too strong of an item. They took out the mitigation to environmental. By they, I mean Desurect 10 years ago or something like that. Back when it was an idea conceived of before combo ran. I'm pretty sure that Desurect's randomizer.
Now Moldorm's playing nice with Linkforce right now. 3 hammer hits, does the same damage as temper damage.
And you can avoid the enrage phase as well.
There is an item in Hera basement.
Well, fortunately they got that lamp.
He doesn't have the lamp yet. He has a fire rod though.
He didn't go to Hype Cave. Okay. But
he
the
went
fire
straight up to the mountain.
He does have fire rod, so no big deal.
Where's Cynas going?
White Cave?
Spike Cave. Yeah, he has the blue cane. He can go there.
Full magic, hook shot. I can see this. This is an item many runners just don't like to do early. A little time consuming. Has kind of wonky logical requirements.
It's in logic, so I mean, it's a good check.
It's a logical capacity upgrade for his silver arrows that he can't shoot without a bow.
You really shoot to the heart of the
melee
situation
weapon
without that bow.
with a -4 penalty. Sorry. Yeah. Alright, Linkforce is setting up a death warp since he doesn't have the mirror.
He's trying to dodge those mini Moldorms.
Yeah, did they do 1 heart or half a heart?
I don't remember. I'm not the person to ask about that one.
Pretty sure the stealth posts are half a heart though.
And it's just a missile upgrade. Cynas, I like this play. Another out of sequence check, which is
another
powder.
what they call those fetch quest. It'll
Fake
be a
powder.
fetch quest later when they find powder, yeah. Or you can just get it out of the way now. This also means he can turn in the mushroom without remorse.
And another boodle.
I think here I would I would still kind of like the idea of holding the mushroom in case you want some safety in the later dungeons. It's pretty easy to fake powder just to get fairies later. And Linkforce also going in the Spike Cave. So I kind of like checking the Witch and then resetting to go turn in the Morph. Did Cynas get the Morph Bombs? I guess he
No,
didn't.
he hasn't gone. He
Yeah,
hasn't.
so he wouldn't be able to do it, but if he had the Morph Bombs, then he could combo in Landing Site with turning in the Mushroom. So Linkforce is going to use that Mushroom, but we'll see which way he goes with it.
Oh, he has to activate his flute yet. He still hasn't done that. And Cynas is in Thieves Town.
He did check Sick Kid because he had Ice Beam, didn't he?
Yeah, but he didn't have the flute when he did it. He went. He took that bottle that he got from Mini Moldorm and went straight to
he
Sick
turned it
Kid.
in early. He did the insta fetch quest strat. Alright, one item down, 3 to go in Thieves Town. We do have a full clear here with the hammer, and it is a crit.
Yeah, he did Spiral, and Spiral just had power, super missiles.
That skull has a bunny beam underneath it, so you sometimes tank off of it instead of hookshotting to it. But if you get the right angle on it, like you see, sometimes it works, sometimes. But yeah, there's an anti-fairy under there, or a bunny beam.
Oh. Let's see. Half magic was found. That's one item. And Linkforce is going the meme route. This is a clearable dungeon too.
It's not a meme when it's a crystal.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. And Vanilla Big Key in Thieves Town. I was commentating one race in Morphball. Happened to be in this location. And Linkforce used some bombos to clear out this room. I completely agree with him on doing that.
Yeah, with Fighter Sword, it can be a pretty tricky room. And there is a full magic refill in the next room. Or adjacent to the next room.
And if he would have gone to Hype Cave first, he wouldn't have to pull this statue. And this is one of the dungeons, like, I know I could get the red cane at any time. That I don't like going in here without the red cane, but I will if I have to, if I have enough health and the right sword. Because, again, I'm a chicken.
Well, no. Just say that it's a time save. It's a time save.
Well, I'm a chicken. I want to be able to kill stuff.
Yeah, but it's a time save. Just say that. People will believe it. It's true. That key is slightly easier to get than the one in the Gibdo in the back half. And I do like Linkforce's call to come to the back first. Since he has to get both items, and it is a crystal, he may as well check the items closer to the boss first, right? And I also like checking the chest before going to the boss and set up a death warp to get a little bit of life. But maybe he doesn't do that. Oh, who knows? It could be mirror. It could be a heart piece.
I have not been paying attention to
no, Linkforce took a death.
Oh no. Wah, wah, wah. I'm serious. Us commentators need like a board that plays like Pac-Man death sound and stuff.
By the way, the stun prize was a 1 bomb drop. Oh, there's the
Master Sword.
That's the one other hard requirement that these runners were looking for. And Linkforce will surely get that momentary present. In the adjacent dungeon.
Best beam of the game right there, Spazer.
Yeah, fortunately, picking that up in Link to the Past does not equip, so they'll still have Plasma Beam when they go back to Super Metroid.
I'm not gonna lie, I am guilty of turning on, like, if I only have ice and spacer, and I want to keep my ice beam on, I will literally turn on spacer because of the wider hitbox on it.
Oh, for sure. Spacer's a good beam to have when you don't have plasma. And
Well, I mean, even if I have plasma, I will intentionally shut plasma off
if you
just to
don't
use
have
spacer.
wave beam, I see.
Like if I don't have, just so I have that wider shot.
Okay. I have delayed switching to plasma for that reason. I don't think I've ever manually gone from plasma back to spacer, but I have had, plasma in my back pocket and waited to turn it on. Oh, Linkforce takes an unfortunate death there. And this is one of the more costly boss deaths in the game.
He's not doing it. He's like, nope.
He's got one item in the back there. He's just gonna hope to have some more safety. Or he doesn't. Well, he could farm magic in one of the rooms, but he doesn't have the lamp, so he would actually have to be very conservative with his fire rod shot. Meanwhile, Cynas has lamp and half magic, so that's gonna be real nice for him heading into Skullwoods.
I mean, when like all Linkforce checks, all the checks he's done has been really good. But I've noticed Cynas has been going for density over anything else.
Well, anytime you're full clearing a crystal dungeon, you're not really losing time as long as you have clean execution gear that you have. That's just the only difference here is that Cynas's execution will be a little cleaner, if nothing else. The fact that he has the red cane, he has the half magic, he has the master sword. So I could see the density being a good play there, or it could just be that Blind is a much easier boss to fight than Mothula. That might have been logical behind.
That's true.
So Blind actually takes the same amount of damage no matter what sword you have. And this key in Pinball Room for Linkforce is always a key in some of the newer iterations of Link to the Past Randomizer. It could be an item, but in Combo Rando, it's still in a version where it's always a small key. And we must be looking for an item still, which will either be in the big chest or on Mothula.
And it's on Mothula.
Yep, and Cynas is going to show us what it is very shortly.
If he doesn't die.
Cynas did nab a green potion early, so he may opt for some fire rod strats for the boss, so that's going to be pretty nifty. Linkforce takes a death ward? Question mark? Yeah, I guess he just wanted some health back. And he's going to abandon one item for now.
He has to come back here anyway, so it's going to work out in his favor, so...
Perhaps. Unless that item happens to be a bug or a mirror.
Now, if Mothula hits those spikes, he does not take any damage.
He's coded so that if he takes too big of a hit and the spikes deal 8 damage...
And there's a bow!
Well, that's a full clear... Pod and Easter. And yeah, we might even get to round out and finish Turtle Rock at the end. It'll be interesting if we find Pegasus Boot, whether the runners will go for Aghanim and use the book to get into the desert, or hold out and see if they get the mirror. But I would at least, clear out all of the... Well, I mean, Pegasus Boots with that Master Sword now puts the Desert Palace in logic, so that could have some of our good Super Metroid items like Varia Suit and Gravity Suit particularly, and perhaps Base Jump, Speed Booster, other just good stuff. Yeah, and right now, the big difference in this race is Cynas going to Thieves Town first, and also Hype Cave, and getting some better item loadouts dipping into one of the unassumingly difficult dungeons in Skullwood.
Mm-hmm. That's somewhat of a goal mode. Like we're in no mode. We don't know nothing. Like no mode for Link to the Past. We need a mirror. Or yeah, a mirror.
It'll be go mode when they get mirror. I call it go mode if they know where all the stuff is. Even if they still have to kill Aghanim, it's still go mode because it's still purely execution.
Mm-hmm.
That's my definition of go mode, and I know others have other definitions, but I like mine. If all of you have left is execution and you're no longer looking for things, whether or not you have them in your pocket, I still call that go.
Ah. However, in Super Metroid, we are missing a gravity suit and a Varia suit and a speed boot. Well, no, gravity suit and Varia suit.
I suppose the one X factor as far as go mode now, aside from getting the mirror / boot, we still don't know if the boots are going to be required for either Desert or Ganon's Tower. So boots would be definite go mode for Link to the Past here.
Mm-hmm.
And no mirror means no mirror ledge in the graveyard. We're going to go ahead and scope out Cat as well as Pyramid.
Now this check gets isolated a lot.
Mm-hmm.
This has been
goes straight back to Skullwoods after finding the better sword, but we'll have to wait and see. This has been a test of the.
Now, what does this fish have?
Money. I wish I hadn't checked that fit.
Yeah. Has the mushroom been turned in? I don't think the mushroom's been turned in. If it has,
you're correct.
If it has, I missed it.
That's a perfect opportunity to grab some extra potions. And since they have flute, it's going to be a pretty nice quick. But no mirror means they're going to have to do a save and quit before getting over. Yeah, how much of Norfair do these guys want to do without any suits? That's the question right now.
And it's all out of logic. Smiths are in logic. Hammer pegs is in logic. Smith, hammer peg. Missiles on Great or on Pyramid. I'm trying to think of what else.
Oh boy, mirrorless Smiths, huh?
Take him on a world tour.
No, we got a mirrorless pod coming.
Oh, that's a fun route to do.
So yeah, pretty good on Super Metroid items outside of missing both suit. Well, so I personally wouldn't mind doing some suitless Meridia if all I had to do was go into the portal. Well, you know what? Well, I've got Grapple Beam for Coliseum, so I think going from the portal using Grapple Beam to get to Dragon and get out isn't the worst option right now. Like, generally, even if you can do Suitless Meridia, it's out of logic and a normal logic, obviously, but even if you can do it, it's usually not a good idea, just because going through the water without Gravity Suit is just so slow. But you only have to do a couple of rooms if you go in from the portal.
Mm-hmm. And Linkforce going to get his sword, hopefully, if he remembers to check this chest. He's running low on health.
Hard to forget.
I've walked by this chest before, I'm not gonna lie.
I believe it.
Pod was bow locked, or does a key being there mean it wasn't? I can't remember.
It was not bow.
Okay.
Because you used the key to get through the middle instead of going around through the bow side.
Okay.
looks like Cynas fancies the bow route anyway.
Well, you have it. Why not?
I'll tell you why not. Because if you go through the middle first, you can take the portal that brings you back into this.
Well, with the hammer, that he can drop down and stuff, and
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. I believe that Cynus's route is suboptimal here, but I've also never made like top 32 in any Link to the Past tournament. So I would defer to somebody that I trust more than myself, which is most people.
Hey, you've got farther. The last tournament that they had, I actually did try, and Skipping Stone was in logic for normal, and I didn't know.
Skipping Stone, my favorite thing that I totally know what it is. What is it?
It's where you have Spring Ball, and you
that guy across the moat. I see.
Yeah, and it was
in normal mode?
No, I don't think so anymore. I don't know.
Okay,
but it was in logic. It was in time in normal mode logic, and it was actually against the race, and I was facing Cynas.
I almost made it to the top ledge from that damage. I didn't actually realize that that Skipping Stone was in logic at any point. Obviously, it's irrelevant for tournament logic because you can just CWJ. But
well, it was in logic when I was in the version I was playing in, and I couldn't do it.
Was it SMZ3 or was it a
SMZ3? SMZ3.
That kind of surprises me, but I could see it being in logic in the SM Rando League. So they've got some kind of out of the ordinary logical checks, and Linkforce is going to grab his bow immediately, so that's going to be real nice for him. Get a good close rate. But I know Super Metroid Rando League, particularly getting the Bubble Mountain item, if you have a speed boost to go through Frog Speedway to get to Bubble Mountain, that item is in logic without Various Suit. In Super Metroid Randomizer League, not in SMZ3. In SMZ3, you never have to go through a single heated room without Various.
But yeah, I had to forfeit the race because I didn't know what to do. I didn't know the trick. I didn't even know that trick existed. So I forfeited the race, and
this is not good for science. Just blue cane, my dude, blue cane. Let's go. Thank you. Exactly what I would have done. Good job.
Oh, I would have thrown bombs over there. I'm not gonna deny it. I would have thrown.
That would have worked too. Actually, that would have been a good menu route because he's gonna want to use a bomb to blow open this wall at some point.
Oh, Linkforce taking a death on Mothula. Wah wah wah.
Yeah, unfortunate again, but it's a good thing he's got half magic now, so that's gonna getting back up to Mothula much easier.
What's he doing? What's he doing?
He looks like he's setting up a fake powder.
For health.
For ire. For Demacia. For Adun.
For Adun. We are the blades of ire. I know what I'm gonna be doing after this race.
You must construct additional pylon. Wow, look at that trolley big keys for that. Oh, look, like the little ditty he sang there with the mushroom.
My life for hire? No, it's my life for ire.
Well, they're also
chat.
I'm sure they get paid to work to be zealots in the army.
Of course.
I have returned.
I have returned. You know, I bet.
Call down the flavor. Bow for Linkforce. Let's go.
Yep.
Now all Linkforce needs is a mirror / Oh no, he still needs to get the red game, but that's in hype cave. Yeah. Hopefully grab Charge Beam on the way as well.
Cynas done with the Dark Room. Nothing too special in this dungeon, just a bunch of junk, but you know. Some ammo is nice. And Taro Tassadar. Yes. Oh, wrong game. We gotta. We really need to
Well,
focus
they're
on
similar.
this.
They've
They're
got bugs, blue swords. These guys look kind of like dragoons. All Cynas is that.
yeah. That's very true.
Wait, am I watching Final Fantasy again? Or we have dragoons? You don't have any magic, buddy. What are you trying to do?
He freaking powder. He does have that green
look at that.
You must have. You must construct more magic.
Additional supply depots required.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, that's enough about StarCraft. We're playing Link to the... I could see if we were in Super Metroid, that would be kind of like StarCraft.
Yeah.
I mean, as in, both of those games are kind of rip-off Ridley Scott's Alien, whatever.
I have the Abathur voice so
it's
for
2
for
days.
it.
I have... We'll see if Linkforce takes his 804 rupees and goes into archery game. I doubt he will. You got
I would.
Smith, so we're gonna get that Frog World tour you were mentioning earlier. Probably take him all the way to Hype, pick up the Charge Beam and the Red Cane and the Link. So
yeah,
pretty sweet for Linkforce.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, Cynas is all but cleared the Palace of Darkness, not to show for.
And he's gonna be offering off the K45 check and stuff.
Right, no mirror.
And there's his Charge Beam.
Yeah, gotta love that. Now he'll at least be able to use that microwave technique and the Meridian ball, even though he's not able to do so for fame.
Very true. Let's play Depot Lock. Oh, we started a StarCraft in chat. But anyway, back to the race. Please follow these amazing runners, by the way. They're putting a wonderful show on both sides. Linkforce and Cynas both stream really often. Linkforce actually does a few of these randos with Alucard and Wild Anaconda. And don't forget to follow my co-commentator Cross, who was streaming before all this stuff. And I don't know if Sandris, I know I would forget. I'd mess up his name. I don't know if he's Sandris.
Like if Malcolm's bigger brother lived in the Sandris.
He does do Link to the Past and SMZ3, so follow him. I stream a lot of random stuff, so
random and randomizer. So go ahead and follow each. But you can follow these guys not only on Twitch but also on our sponsor's website, rank1.global. And the chat command, as well as the restream info, you see all on there on the screen there. It does have their rank1.global profiles. Rank1.global is a social media site for gamers by gamers. You can post information of your favorite games, what games you're currently playing, things you're particularly proud of.
Gravity Suit on my... I'm sorry for interrupting, but I got excited.
This Gravity Suit brought to you by Rank1.global.
I am so sorry for interrupting.
Cynas got good use out of his fake powder there, and it's time to say goodbye because he definitely wants to keep that instead of Save Scum. And that's well, Meridia is logically able to be full cleared. Since they have flippers, they have access to the back door and can go around bot. We can also go the front way if we use Ice Beam to clip through one of the ceilings in the pre-bot. So fully in logic and a couple of options to get through the whole thing there. But rank1.global, yes, social media site. You can join communities, tell people about your recent games, your successes, things that you are really proud of. And not only that, but rank1.global has provided some excellent cash prizes for the top 4 runners of this tournament. So if you don't have an account with rank1.global, it's really easy to sign up. If you already have a Twitch account, you can connect it to, and you can get socializing media-wise.
Cynas going into Ice Palace.
Yeah, Ice Palace, since the Icebreaker glitch was found, which you can do with the red cane, it became a pretty good and fast full clear. It used to be kind of tedious to come into Ice Palace. You would always hope to do it last and be in go mode when you come here. But the red cane definitely shaves off some time, 30 to 45 seconds at least, and in even a full clear of the dungeon.
And this is also a 5/6 crystal.
Vanilla.
Mm-hmm.
The one drawback to doing Ice Palace right now is that Cynas doesn't have a great sword for fighting the puffy dudes, the cults. With half magic, fire rod, bombos, he's got pretty much, and 2 blue pots. He's got pretty much everything else that he wants. And blink and you'll miss this. He's gonna clip through this wall by using a red cane block.
I would like to know how they find all this stuff.
Ask Yasuhura.
Who?
The guy that finds all this. Do you know? Have you heard the term YBA?
Huh?
He's the Y of YBA. There's a glitch named after him. Looks like he kind of lost the pixel he was going for. So he wants to line it up so that the left of his shadow. You gotta buffer 1 left, buddy. All right. And then.
Linkforce. Oh, there's the mirror.
That was on the mirror on purple chest. Really?
Yeah. Do you want to do a fetch quest?
That's a potential go mode, barring the requirement for boots. It does mean they can get into Desert Palace, but again, Desert Palace or Ganon's Tower could require Pegasus boot, and Link's also going to get Gravity Suit here. So, really, barring the need for the boots, only needs to get Varia Suit now, or just grow a pair of Insanity Brain and do it without. Since Varia Suit's one of the key items he's still looking for, he does have that narrowed down a good bit because it cannot be in Norfair because they've already checked the cool rooms in Norfair.
And looks like Linkforce is also heading to Ice Palace.
All right, so Cynas is gonna go ahead and do this the old style. And yeah, that spent a good deal of time there that allowed Linkforce to catch up just a bit. Although Linkforce still has to clear pod, I think. Linkforce still has to clear pod. However, Cynas still has to find the mirror in one of the least likely spots for mirror.
So, I mean, depending on where our logical exit, or where, like, if he doesn't find, what is it? Oh no, he needs, if he doesn't check that chest, he'll probably end up doing Aga to get into Desert.
Not without Pegasus boots.
If he finds them, he'll probably do it.
I could see that happening.
Like, if he finds Pegasus boots in this dungeon, I said if, he'll be like, oh no, Aga's required.
Yeah, I think we go into Meridia before that, though, so we'll see. Yeah, again, that's really interesting, because the mirror is in a really bad spot. We're still not sure we actually need the mirror, because, again, it could just be that Pegasus boots. Or the Pegasus boots could be required anyway and be in Swamp. You got me talking like... I'm not chat, I'm commentating here. I don't want to just give off the most awful possible scenarios. That's chat's job.
Yeah, but I've hung around in chat so many times, I can't help it. Like, I'm a huge believer of a ped seed.
Yeah, and Linkforce actually, just knowing his limitations and realized he hasn't practiced that icebreaker glitch, is just going to go straight for the bomb jump method. Cynas is still a little bit ahead here, but Linkforce does have that mirror on him.
Yeah. and Linkforce still hasn't done pod, so he's gonna have a better time routing Palace of Darkness.
That depends. If they find Varia suit or not.
How so?
Oh, you mean because he has mirror? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I thought you meant because he wouldn't have to full clear it.
All right, chat. As much as I would love to see Shaq Tool, that's just mean. Boots on Shaq Tool.
Well, we've got gravity, we've got grapple beam, we've got high jump boots. It could happen.
Mir was in the lunchbox.
Yep. But Gary needed to pick something out of his teeth after eating that spinach lunch, I guess.
Varion Ped is another one of those.
Well,
If
we
now,
have everything for Link to the Past, so
yeah,
could be.
if Varia is on Ped, I called that like an hour ago. So remember that, chat.
I wonder. Oh, Linkforce is trying to set up a bomb jump here and check out the iced tea room, but unfortunately doesn't make it. He'll have to go around the long way if he wants to check.
Yeah, if yeah, that's true. If Varia is on Ped, the mirror is a very important item. It's a VII. VII. Yeah, there we go. Very important item.
Cynas, I think, wasn't happy to get the big key there after trying to do a little cheeky glitcherino into there. Because he's got to go all the way back to get the item out of the big chest now. Of course, Cold Stare could just have the last item instead. Or is there another key still? I kind of lost count. That's a fun way to fall down the stairs. Alright, can use the hook shot to clip through one of these blocks, get to the big chest. And for his brain's sake, I hope it's not Compass. Well, so there was still a small key and Compass. That... Wow. Oh. Yeah, I think just it just got to him a little bit when he missed the icebreaker glitch he was going for. But still ahead, still ahead. Linkforce has got a couple more checks to grab here before getting over to Cold Stare.
You know, if this game comes down to that mirror, I'm going to flip.
It would just be really unfortunate if Linkforce stopped looking for boot and then they turned out to be required. It's not. I'm not saying that's going to happen. I don't want that to happen.
It would be sad.
I'm just posing some of the possible situations that could come up. Cynas making great use of that half magic. I think he still has at least one blue pot. I think he picked 3 of them, maybe 2. And yep, there's that Compass.
All right. You know what really would be good for this race, or like background music, would be the Judge Judy theme song, like or the Law and Order background music. Now Cynas is heading. I don't know where Cynas is heading. I'm a little lost. Yeah, well, Linkforce, I'd give it. I gotta give him props. He is a god of a tracker, and he's so used to counting items Like, I remember him doing the weeklies solo, like the 4-way weeklies solo, and he just tracked by himself. And Cynas does not have enough money to get the big bomb, so he's gonna opt out of that. But Linkforce is a god tracker, and props to the man. He can track a 4-player race, and he can click those buttons so quick, and watch 4 screens at the time to make sure. I mean, he's
I'll do you one
amazing.
better.
What?
Linkforce tracked the SpeedGaming Live multi-world run with Alucard 2004 and Soulscape. Linkforce not only tracked items for both players, but also tracked every single location in both games for both players.
Yeah.
In person, sitting on the couch. He did a fantastic job.
Oh yeah. He is a god of a tracker. He knows if you just he has a photographic memory. I wish I was as good as him.
Here's Linkforce going in the pod, and as you said, he's going to save a little bit of time since he's coming in here with Mirror. Cynas, meanwhile, is finally going to check the Hera.
Yeah.
Okay.
Morphball
I
was.
thought he was going over to Turtle Rock. Turtle Rock's been in Logic for so long. But
Yeah.
now they've got a Master Sword, so it's slightly more favorable.
Morphball Bombs was in Tower of Hera in this
Right,
chat. Or,
okay. Which means Varia suit could be on the Zebes landing site behind the orange door.
yeah, but I'm hoping.
Infinite bomb jumps are in Logic.
Yeah. Mir was in Purple Chest, and this has been a rough seed. I mean, it's moved along. I mean, for 2 hours, coming up on the 2-hour mark. It's not bad. I mean, it's 9 o'clock where I'm at, so it's.
You're an hour and 1 minute behind Eastern?
Yeah.
Wow.
It just switched
What
over.
time zone is that?
It just literally, when I said it was 9 o'clock, it literally just switched. That's not fair. But due to the state I live in, I wouldn't be surprised if we weren't in a weird time zone.
Yeah.
Hey,
More
there's some more
problem.
fumble.
So Cynas is going to have a couple of options for Moldorm here. Linkforce went with 3 hammer hits, which is a really good fast way to do it. Cynas could do 3 hammer hits or 3 Master Sword spins. They would be equivalent. So a better hitbox, but a little longer setup time. And I don't know about you, but I always go for the return bomb jump coming from the big chest. I know there's like a 1 in 2,000 chance I'll actually get it, but since the other option is just to jump in the hole anyway.
Oh,
hey!
I've never seen Moldorm do that.
I've never seen him do it 3 times in a row.
And he's like, nope. I mean, at least he didn't fall, but, you know, that's still...
That was pretty great.
Oh, man. Someone clip that. Someone have to clip... Yeah, yeet. Yeet. That was... It's like, that's a question, Cynas. So what about that Trolldorm fight?
I should start keeping a notepad when I commentate, just so I remember what I want to ask the runners at the end of the race.
Yeah, I used to have Notepad open and do that, but my keyboard was too loud, and my new keyboard is still too loud. But I found a way to mute it.
That's good.
I found
I have a hotkey for muting myself in Discord, so it's easy to type when I have to.
Yeah, well, again, I get really excited really easily, as you could tell when we saw that gravity suit when I interrupted you.
Thanks for good
I
commentary.
don't use a push to talk. I should, but I don't. And
Well, push to talk has its own issues, but I don't use push to talk, but I use Alt Z to mute myself when I need to take a drink or type something or get up, whatever.
actually, I've got to send you something that's really useful, and you don't have to do it anymore because I've been typing and other things in the background, and it doesn't pop up. So, I mean, I got some stuff and things after the race I'll get with you.
Well, Cynas is done in Hera. Where do you suppose he's headed next? I still want to see
Turtle
that
Rock.
Turtle Rock play.
Turtle
Meridia
Rock.
is a really.
Where's he
Whoops.
going? Hey, hit that switch.
So Meridia is a good play. Again, all of Meridia is in logic right now. I'm not sure if Plasma Room is in logic. I think it might be since they have charged people. Oh, they've got Plasma. What am I thinking? Of course it is. So yeah, all of Meridia is in logic. All of Turtle Rock is in logic. So either one would be a pretty good play. And he's going right instead of down.
Let's see. Yeah, Turtle Rock. He's like, I got it. Let's go. Pulling a Solski with this. Oh, Sandris is right. What happens if something is in Mimic Cave?
It ain't Mirror, at least. If it's Varia suit, I think that's the worst case for Cynas. Varia suit or Pegasus boots. But that's a good point. I guess it's not so much of a full clear since Cynas doesn't have Mirror.
Mimic Cave is one of those locations. Like, you could Scoops cheat into it. I mean, but I'm not gonna.
Yeah, well, he's got about 2,000 people watching him right now, so.
Yeah. Really? Is that how many people?
I didn't.
There's 267.
I made it. I made up 200. I made up a number.
You were close. You were off by a decimal.
I just wanted you to feel nervous for a second.
So, like, oh man, I was like, really? I had to look.
Well, he has 2,000 people watching him, not on the restream. I'm just kidding. I have no idea. I don't know.
Yeah.
These guys are great. Give them a follow.
Yeah, don't forget.
They got stuck with us commentating, but
yeah. I begged. They could have said don't let HK commentate, but I begged and pleaded, and I'm here. Mir was in purple chest. Okay. The Linkforce doing his Helmasaur fight.
Yeah, I think the same item loadout that Cynas had for this dungeon, other than the mirror. So
yep,
should by default save a little bit of time.
Oh man. So far, nothing in Turtle Rock, but I mean, it is a play.
Good hookshot strats. Sometimes these guys will troll you because the hookshot will tink off of one of them or tink off one of the little railings, and you don't get the full invulnerability animation that you're looking for. I mean, that happens to me. It probably doesn't happen to anybody else. And Linkforce does have enough. Well, he's got the mirror. So
is he thinking swamp?
Dependence swamp, or he could just be checking Pyramid Fairy. He has the funds to buy the orange bomb.
Oh yeah. That reminds me. Cynas went up here, and didn't have the funds to get into or get the big bomb.
We're at least getting a K45 check with the mirror. And I'll just leave it at that. We'll see what Linkforce wants to do. We do have the option to check checkerboard as well, since he's got mirror. But he might want to route that in with lower Norfair.
He might do desert too.
True. Another crystal. It's also kind of important to know whether he has to keep looking for boots or not. So a desert for Linkforce would be pretty good as well.
And not having that book, you can't check a tablet or anything like that.
All right, just a couple of quick spot overworld checks here for Linkforce. K45.
Is that the vanilla? Is that the vanilla big key location?
The pipe chest? It sure is.
Okay. Those are the wrong bombs, Linkforce.
You got both.
Why not? 2 for 1 cell. I bet Cynas checks to see if he has the man. Nope. So far, nothing inside Turtle Rock.
Looks like we're gonna have a rough laser bridge without boots.
But they got the blue cane.
Or might just have these laser skips down pat. I'm pretty good with them with the boots, but if I don't have the boots, then I just feel bad. Of course, we have
nothing in Pyramid Ferry. Just power bombs and some missiles.
All right, so Cynas didn't miss out on that, but it's gonna be nagging in the back of his head for a little bit. But I don't see him going back there before Meridia anyway.
Linkforce heading up to Catfish.
Yeah, we already had a check from Cynas earlier. We know it's nothing here.
Oh boy.
Oh, he took a different route than I did in that room, Cynas. That's the end. I usually go along the top rail there, but I guess either works. And we got blue cane strats here. He already got a magic refill.
Speed booster.
Alright, well that's going to make checking the criteria power bomb spot a lot faster than doing an infinite bomb zone.
Meridia's fully
It also makes, you can do Meridia without having to go around the long way or do an ice clip. You can also get the 2 items in Aqueduct without having to do the out of logic snail clip. So yeah, speed boost is a really good find here. It also just makes everything way better. Except for jumping if you don't have high jump boots, but fortunately, high jump boots for Sphere 1. This is unfortunate.
Oh, don't die, Cynas! Blue potion for the save.
It's fine. He still has. He ate the block. He
thought it was a block. Nom 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 nom.
All right, we have some new checks on the Misery Mire side here for Linkforce. Or I'm sorry, the checkerboard will be a new check.
I don't remember this being anything special. Just some love and some money. Love and money.
Blood money.
Together again.
All right, half magic's gonna make this fight a little comfy, but not
having
great.
That sword.
Ooh. I'm also not sure if he has more magic potions, so
he might have to switch to hammer strats.
Well, he's got plenty of magic as long as he can land some hits. The half magic is a great boon here for this fight. The frozen pea on the floor, not so much.
I missed what was in Checkerboard Cave. I was so enamored with the Trinex fight.
Yeah, this is tense. Alright, so Linkforce as well only checks the screw attack item, doesn't go into Cold Teresa's room. Oh, he did have another blue pot.
And and I think he's gonna go into desert, see if it's boots locked.
Good call.
If it is boots locked, that means it.
Did anyone ever check the desert ledge?
Yeah, it's just some blueberries.
Alright, Cynas makes it through Trine X. That's another crystal form. So, of note, Ganon's tower cannot have Varia.
Boots locked. Boots
That
are required.
So, once
Boots
they do
are-
find Boots, Cynas will either have to kill Aghanim or check purple chest. But
So that means, yeah. Technically, it's either an Aga required seed or not an Aga required seed, depending on which way Cynas chooses to go about it.
And he's gonna go ahead and check Pyramid Fairy, I think, now that he's got enough money. He won't be able to buy more potions for a while. That's kind of a drawback to him. But I think that Linkforce didn't pick up potions, or I might be mistaken there. But Linkforce might have a little bit more confidence in his Link to the Past abilities. So I think we have a pretty even matchup overall, with Cynas having a bit of an edge in Super Metroid and Linkforce having a bit of an edge for his namesake's game. Even though he's not playing Link, he's playing as the Andy Pug.
Yeah, I think Linkforce's stronger game is Link to the Past than it is Super Metroid, and it looks like he's heading to Meridia. Hopefully, oh man, if that Vari is locked behind that speed booster, Cynas will have the.
Well, we did see Cynas practicing this snail clip before the stream started, and he did get it. And he has high jump boots, so he has an easier setup for it. There is also the mainstream missiles. The next item that Linkforce checks is going to be locked behind speed booster.
Yeah.
I'll just leave it at that. It's locked behind speed boost. Alright, just a vanilla missile pack. And just a heart piece. Oh, Cynas is the one with the speed booster. I'm sorry. So yeah, it's up to whether or not Linkforce can do the snail clip.
So it's a search for boots. Now that mirror could require maybe. Oh, there's power bombs on.
Yeah,
Mama
the boots
Turtle.
could be locked in Mimic Cave. That's probably the worst spot. Or
Wave Beam.
Quispy. Either Mimic Cave, I think, is the absolute worst spot for Boots or Varia for Cynas. And for Linkforce, there are a couple of bad spots Varia or Boots could be for him without the speed booster, but he does have options to get around that if he's familiar with the tech. And Cynas is actually gonna go into the portal and do Dragon first.
And work his way out.
Interesting. I've never seen anyone like theory test this. I'm curious to see which route is better.
And Linkforce with some impressive wall jumps.
The nice thing about going this way is you can save an aqueduct and you can do a lot of checks from that one save point hub. So, you know, this route does have some merit. And there's a Varia suit. Pretty easy pickup for either runner.
Technically, we're in go mode for Super Metroid because you really don't need speed booster to finish the game right now.
Right. There's
unless boots are locked behind.
Yeah, there are a couple of spots that would require more items to check, but they can certainly defeat all the bosses and get to Mother Brain without any more items.
Yeah, so that's a good find, though.
There are a couple. We have Waterway. We could possibly require Space Jump for Pegasus boots.
That would just be wrong.
Since neither of the runners checked the Gold Teresa room yet, that's still a slight possibility.
Yeah, Big Bird's still out in the open. I want to say GT, but people get it confused with Ganon's Tower, so I just started calling him Big Bird.
Yeah, I thought Big Bird was in Ganon's Tower. Oh no, I'm sorry. Big Bird is in the Great Temple.
Hmm? What great temple?
The Gold Temple. You need to place all the crystals in the slots before you open up the barrier. And then you gotta fight the Big Bird. And you gotta use Thunder. Oh, Linkforce is going for that snail clip here.
What happened? Cynas.
First try, a cape, pass, and a bottle, double pass. So speed booster wasn't required for anything important in Meridia. And Linkforce has the option to check both sand pits, plasma room.
Okay, I think I'm going crazy. Does anybody else hear music?
We switched to Linkforce's audio. Cynas apparently has some technical issues. I'm not in the SRL chat, so I'm not sure if he's given an update to it. But...
I'm in the SRL chat. So far, nothing.
Okay, but hopefully we'll have Cynas back soon. But we've got Linkforce's audio up here. We did find a powder in the left sand pit. Linkforce is going to reset out of that. I don't know if he checked Magic Bat yet, but Cynas will certainly be able to skip that. I know he did a fake powder to Magic Bat earlier. And we have a really nice ammo count as well with every beam we could want, so really comfy Super Metroid for... The only thing I'd maybe want still is Spring Ball. Alright, get your Shack Tool 1, Shack Tool 2, Shack Tool 3, and Shack Tool 4s in chat because we're about to find the Mechanized Menace right now. We'll see if Linkforce can defeat the evil Shack Tool. Super to blue door, I've been there. Even doors that aren't evergreen, I still shoot super missiles at them sometimes. But I'm only calling it out because it's actually a pretty common thing for many runners. And yeah, Linkforce might be just stretching a little bit here. That's fine. Mandatory wait time. You gotta wait for Shack Tool to get through the wall. That's why it's important to always take him out when you have the opportunity.
Okay, let's see what's on Shack Tool. No tank.
Linkforce is going to reset. He's checked both sand pits. He's checked everything in Meridia except for Plasma Room. So that's going to be an outlier. It's going to take a bit of extra time to get there if he wants to check it. But I think if he wanted to check it, he would have gone straight from Shack Tool. As of now, I mean, he has a full...
Ooh.
Well, he's going to do an ice clip here, it looks like. So he's going to do a trick that's not in logic, but it's going to get him to a location that he does have logical access to via the cross-world portal anyway. Yeah, just got to crouch there, Metroid gets at the correct height, and then you can clip through the ceiling. He's going to have a really nice bot twin fight with the microwave technique. You need charge beam, plasma beam, and x-ray, and you just toast this guy. We'll see the same technique used against Dragon as well. Yep, this is why we want Spring Ball. So we don't have to wait for the bomb jumps.
I love Spring Ball.
It's a great item. Especially when you have Speed Booster. Then you can do lots of neat stuff with it. Alright, so Linkforce got the Varia suit. The only thing we need for go mode now is Pegasus boots, right?
Yeah. Ooh. Varia was in Meridia, believe it or not.
Yep, it was in the beach missiles. The item right above Aqueduct that you would pass on your way to get to Watering Hole. Cynas came into Meridia backwards, so he's probably going to take a save at Aqueduct and
go.
not be able to save scum the location because he's going to definitely want to keep that Varia suit. He won't need any of the sand pit items though. And get ready, if you blink, you're going to miss this Dragon fight for Linkforce. And looks like we have a little bit of a sync here, but again, we'll give you an update on Cynas' stream as soon as we have it.
Oh, missing it.
Yeah, just a little shy. I think actually a little bit too fast. One hit away, yikes. But you did notice that Linkforce crouched. The game forces Samus into a standing position when Dragon dies. This is to prevent a soft lock in case Dragon dies while she's holding on to you, which is a common occurrence because you want her to grab you if you use the electrical sockets to defeat her. But at any rate, they crouch so that they know when the last hit is.
No. I don't know why he's doing this gravity jump because I can like if you jump and you can
with Speed Booster, you can jump up there. With Speed Booster and high jump boots, you can get up there with a plane jump.
Oh, really? You have to have Speed Booster?
Yes.
Haha.
I guess he could maybe opt for a tricky wall jump by the electrical sockets, but at that point, I think the gravity jump is just easier.
I need to learn how to do that.
Interesting. I guess that's... Dragon is only in logic if you have enough items to get out of Dragon's room. The logical exit from Dragon's room might have actually been the infinite bomb jump, which is kind of funny.
I can't do bomb jumps either.
Yeah,
I need to practice.
So Linkforce hasn't checked Plasma yet because he only just now killed Dragon, but this is going to be the final check. And we're going to have lots of Norfair checks. Remember, we do have Titan's Mitt and Flute, so lower Norfair is logically accessible via the Misery Mire portal. So even without Space Jump, they could still get into lower Norfair in logic. Now, depending on how much of upper Norfair Linkforce wants to clear, he could go in either way. He's already shown that he can do a gravity jump, which is one of the easier options to get through the lava dive room. But out of logic, of course.
Yeah, just freeze that little guy.
Yeah, cool. Pseudo screw him as well. I think I would just freeze him, then you can jump off of him. Picking up the drops in the plasma tutorial. It's kind of really interesting the way Deer Force set up the plasma beam area. So it teaches you two things. One, in this room, it teaches you that plasma beam can defeat enemies that the weaker beams cannot, because you normally wouldn't have screw attack in a casual playthrough here, so you would need to use the plasma beam to defeat the pirates. And then it also teaches you that you can shoot multiple enemies at once with plasma beam, and they teach you that in the next Poyos, or not the Poyos, the little tadpole guys. I don't know what they're called. Poyos are the bubblegum guys. Boop, there we go. Plasma tutorial room.
I missed what was that plasma beam? I was doing stuff and things.
I don't think it was anything. I think it was a missile pack. pretty sure it wasn't Pegasus boots, and that's really the only important item left here.
Mm-hmm. And don't forget to follow these wonderful runners. Linkforce and Cynas, even though he is stuck in Dragon's fight forever right now. These guys are putting on an amazing show for us. And to fill in the other half that I do not remember or don't know that much about is rank1.global. Prof, care to fill the people in on that?
Yeah, rank1.global is the sponsor for this tournament. They've generously provided some cash prizes for the top 4 runners in the tournament. Rank1.global is a social media site by gamers for gamers. You can give updates on the recent games that you're playing, your favorite games, recent highlights and moments. And Cynas is back. I'm going to assume he's got Varia suit because he's in Crocomyre's area. Might need to work on the cropping a little bit, but we'll have that fixed up in just a moment for you folks. Shout outs to Mind of Me running the restream here. They've got their hands full because I'm pretty sure Mind of Me runs multiple restreams at a time, like all day, every day. Almost every time I commentate, she's in the Discord channel.
Yeah, so is Miss Metroid. Don't forget to follow those 2 people. They're wonderful people.
But yeah, rank1.global, social media site, really cool. You can join up. You can link your Twitch account. Real easy to sign up and get started and join some communities. We do have a community for the SMZ3 combo randomizer, and you can follow the runners on their rank1.global profiles as well. We have a link dropped in chat, and we have their whatchamadealies printed right on the stream in case you don't have chat open, like if you're watching on mobile or casting it to your TV or something. Nice damage boost, Cynas. I'm so proud of you. Did he... Okay, if he froze that fly and intentionally damage boost to get back on top of it, that was just the most amazing strat.
Yeah. It looked like Linkforce is heading down to Crocomyre as well. Now, I'm lost because, like, Cynas' stream's not cropped right. I think something's wrong with his setup. And Linkforce going after this item. Now, this is why I like having Spring Ball, especially on Crumble Tower, is because it's one of those things you can just hold down the jump button, and Spring Ball will let you constantly jump. Oh, he doesn't have Speed Booster, so he can't go to Croc this way. But he does have Wave Beam, so that, you know, he can get to Croc. So, I mean, does Cynas have Wave Beam? I don't know. I'll wait till he shoots something. Yeah, he has Wave Beam too. So it looks like Cynas is going to do... Oh, hey, look at that. Good job, Mind of Me. You do a wonderful job fixing that. Did a good job fixing that.
Excellent. So Cynas is going to do this. This trick is not in logic, but again, the area he's going to is in logic because he has another method to get up there.
And it looks like he didn't check Bubble Mountain. He's like, I got the items to finish.
Yeah. I mean, Bubble Mountain's the pendant dungeon, right? Lower Norfair is the crystal dungeon.
Yeah.
And you also can check Bubble Mountain after Lower Norfair. The game spits you conveniently right out by that Wave Beam location.
And I don't think he's found the boots because, I mean, he just showed up. I mean, there was some items hidden when he was checking grapple location and stuff. So if the boots are in Bubble Mountain, well, I bet I know what Cynas is doing, and that's very popular with some runners, is do Lower Norfair and do Bubble Mountain on your way back up.
Yep.
See, I have trouble with
his route here. He can't go left without space jump. I think he knows that. Or
What's he doing?
maybe he got space. Nope, doesn't have space jump. Maybe just realized it at the last second. That's good.
Yeah, that's another hard. One of these items are hard locked by space jump, and it's that Teresa that drops a lot. He's just picky. You have to have that item. Hey,
It's
there's some
all
blue
about the
mail.
Eternized Dragon. If there's a way to get an item with X-ray scope and crystal flashes, Eternized Dragon knows how to do it. But that obviously not in logic. Possibly also not race legal.
What?
Whatever would be required to get this item without space jump. There has to be a way, but okay, we
Well.
don't need space jump, just a vanilla missile pack.
Oh, there's the boots.
Oh man, so this is actually an item that both runners were very near a long time ago. They didn't have Varia suit, and they popped in here to check the screw attack item, but didn't bother to come in to fight Gold Torizo or Big
No.
Bird, as you say, without the Varia suit.
Tracy hates it when I call it Big Bird, but it only makes sense. If I call it GT, everybody thinks Ganon Towers. Now,
Well,
here's
you
the
could
thing
call it
now.
Gold Torizo.
Cynas,
Now that I know
Cynas-
Tracy hates it, I'm not going to do it anymore.
I say it because
I happen
don't
to
wanna
like
get.
Tracy and want to get along
I
with
do
it.
too. I do it so I don't get confused. I do it so I don't get confused because Big Bird. I mean, it's a Big Bird. It makes sense to me and in my head. And if I say GT, like a lot of people who are just coming in and seeing combo for the first time is like, GT, which one? And then I get confused.
So yeah, having the Pegasus boots puts Cynas in go mode. However, not having the mirror means he'll have to do an extra dungeon in Aga Tower. So
Yeah, he'll have to do Aga.
I doubt that he even bothers looking for the mirror. I mean,
I wouldn't either. Now, when Linkforce finds it, he has the mirror and everything. He's good to go. He's already done desert. Well, he will be able to do desert and go quickly. It's literally
he's
he's
gonna
gonna
go
go
into Lower
fast.
North here. He can pop straight to the portal and go into desert immediately.
Yeah,
Won't even have to flute there.
and with what Linkforce has to do, Linkforce just has to do Turtle Rock after desert. So he will go straight from Desert Palace to Turtle Rock and be good to go.
Oh yeah, Eastern's a pendant too. So yeah, we got Desert Palace and Aga Tower for Cynas, and we've got Desert Palace and Turtle Rock for Linkforce. Linkforce does have the favorable route in that he can end with Turtle Rock and go straight over to GT from there. And also Linkforce has a favorable route to Desert Palace as well, since he's going to be right by there. Presuming he gets the boots from Gold Torizo, and I don't see much reason why he wouldn't. Especially since he knows he has to mirror over to Desert Palace, he's sure to go that direction anyway. Fun fact though, space jump is still logically required. Oh, it's not because of the portal.
No, it's not.
there. That's right. They've had logical access to the portal for a long time. My mistake. If they didn't, then space jump would be logically required because the reverse green gate glitch is not. Real nice 3 super missile kill on the metal pirates here. And Cynas has good beams for Ridley and plenty of super missiles. He can take his pick how he wants to defeat the pterodactyl man. But I'm not sure how he's going to feel about his energy. This is certainly an abundance of energy for an any percent run. But in a race situation, it generally pays to be safer as well. And it looks like we're going to get a little bit of farming here. Or just maybe he thought he wanted 30 power bombs instead of 30 super missiles.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to remind everybody that my prediction before the race started was that the runners would finish within 5 minutes of each other, and
It might be.
it's going to be pretty close. It's
Yeah.
looking like it's definitely going to be 10 at most. It's
And
Cynas
Linkforce.
has lower Norfair and Turtle Rock, and his disadvantage is that he's either going to have to
Gotta do
find
Aga.
Mirror or do Aga. Yeah, I would guess do Aga, but we'll see how he plays it. I think obviously you want to. He might actually just. I don't know. We'll just watch and see. I can't read his mind from 10 minutes ago.
The reason why Aga could be required, it's a toss-up between the book and the mirror. Linkforce found the mirror by doing purple chest. Cynas has not done purple chest.
And this is another unfortunate room to not have the speed booster for Linkforce. Does it take a timely infinite bomb jump to get up the ledge? Unless he really wanted to grapple across, which nobody wants to do that.
You could. Yeah. This is just one of those seeds that just like dual access to depending on.
Oh, we're gonna get a speedball here. Nice. Both runners having charged plasma for Crocomire made it a quick fight. I mean, I assume Cynas's was quick. Are we seeing a reverse amphitheater here? I could see that being a reason to save.
He might. He doesn't have that much health.
Of course, the Key Hunters deal 50 damage, so that's another good reason to save.
Mm-hmm.
All right, okay, he's going left. That 100% confirms he's calling himself in go mode and committing to the Aga play. He skipped a whole bunch of checks in lower Norfair that he could have easily gotten.
Linkforce is heading towards Turtle Rock, I think.
So he's going to full clear Turtle Rock before finding the Pegasus.
Oh,
he's
come on.
He's got plenty. He's got plenty. He's good.
I was worried.
It's fine. This is a bad room. I always forget about even coming backwards. This room stinks. Oh wow! Very nearly dodged the Namahe Firebolt, which would have done 50 damage. He does have enough ammo to Crystal Flash, but that's going to leave him a little sparse on Super Missiles if he wants to perform the reverse gate glitch, which it might be going that way now. Or he just wants to get a better start into this room. That's fine too. Honestly, I'm thinking.
I've never seen this room backwards.
I think I've always had Screw Attack to do this room backwards. It actually looks a lot easier to do backwards now that I'm watching it.
Yeah. Oh my, it does, doesn't it? Oh wait, nope, not that. That last
That's
part.
Fine. He's not really in danger of any high damage enemies between here and the portal. Should be fine. These guys will do what, like 10, 15 damage? Even in a GT Classic run, when you'd only have Varia Suit, you don't really have to be too worried. And falling in the acid is also not that bad. He's taking 75% reduced damage because of the Varia Suit, and he can also move freely and won't get stuck down there because of the Gravity Suit.
Now, Cynas is going to do all these boots
There's
checks
really no
too.
reason to beat the Crystal Flash there. Alright, so yeah, no mirror. He's got to head over to that Aga so that he can get the Lumberjack book.
No.
Oh, that's why they were chopping down the tree. They were chopping down the tree to make paper for the book.
Yeah, he's gonna do all these bonk checks. Who doesn't want to do AGA?
That's fascinating. I don't know why he does this, but doesn't clear out Lower Norfair. Maybe he just thought to himself, "Oh, it would be nice to find a sword."
Yeah. I mean, but he has all the checks to do with the books and the book and everything, and
Yeah, I'm gonna call this one questionable. Leaving a lot of quick checks in Norfair and not making a beeline to the end game.
This is also giving Linkforce chances to catch up as well. Where are you going? You going to do AGA?
Also, if he wanted to, well,
He's
I
going
guess
to
he
do
wouldn't
AGA.
check those items after AGA, because if he's already done AGA, then there's...
Yeah, he's going to AGA. Or, yeah, AGA.
Good thing we got that cape in Aqueduct. Except that they didn't get the bug net on the Lumberjack Island.
The swag net. I honestly think the bug net should be one of the, like in this randomizer should be like should be a required a possibility item for AGA play. You know what I'm talking? Like like they do in hammerless seeds. You know. The
I
bug
mean,
net.
you actually use it in Swordless, though. You don't use it in this, since you need the
That's what
sword
I mean.
to open the cape the curtain anyway.
Well, I mean, but I'm pretty sure you can put something in the code to say, hey, this is, open.
Just want it for the memes.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Cynas farts on the chest before opening it. I've been there. Alright, so speaking of that mirror cave, that's gonna end up being a time loss for Link unless there's a sword in there. Wow, shoot a guy while he's down, huh?
I was playing a seed the other day and I forget, and this is only to Skullwood specific. You know those the wall or floor masters where they could grab you and take you out. I got bumped. The floor wall ceiling masters. You know the hands and
the master
Skullwoods.
hands.
Yeah, those things. Anyway.
I'm just kidding. I know what you mean. But also, they are called wall masters. You were right the first time.
Okay. Anyway,
as far as I
know. Some money in Mimic Cave, so Cynas didn't miss out on much. But anyway, in Skull Woods, and I should have brought this up when we were in Skull Woods, but because of the version of Link to the Past we're using, that hand can come down and get you at the smallest pixel and take you out of the dungeon.
You know, us speedrunners, we always complain about stuff like that, but once in a while you have to stop and think, we are playing the most broken version of the game intentionally, so we really have no right to complain about it.
Oh, chat, get your guesses in chat how many blue balls that Aga's going to toss out.
I haven't eaten dinner yet, so I'm going to say 0.
Well, I haven't eaten either. I got my Italian beef in my fridge right now. I'm waiting for it. I want to say 12, but I'm that guy. Well, the reason why I'm saying 12 is just to give Linkforce a chance to catch up. That's why I'm saying.
That's true. Linkforce won't have to do it. What are we up to? -3?
-3.
-2.
I just
picked my route through the fire bar room. Interesting.
-1. Linkforce getting his. Okay, just 2 blue balls. Oh boy. And that's just gonna put it just in time for. I mean, it's gonna be a close race.
I feel like Cynas is running away at this point. I mean,
Cynas
Linkforce still has to defeat Ridley.
Yeah, but where's Cynas going?
Let's get in the book.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I thought it was like I was thinking. I was like, oh wait a minute, don't they give the? Oh yeah, that item. I was thinking it's like, okay, here you beat Aga. Here's your book.
If only. So one advantage Linkforce might grab here is could possibly find another sword as he's leaving Lower Norfair if he goes that route, but I don't know. It's looking like it's looking pretty dire for Linkforce at this point. Definitely showing some clean execution on the low percent Trinex fight. Well, I guess it's technically not because he has half magic, but basically a low percent Trinex fight. It's let me pour the lamp on the nightstand. Well, the first half was a low percent.
Taking a death on Trinex.
Yeah, I think Linkforce overall has shown more skill in Link to the Past, but an unfortunate death here and there. I mean, either runner had a very good chance coming into this race. Linkforce would have had to capitalize on the Link to the Past, and Cynas would have had to take his advantages in Super Metroid, and unfortunately, it didn't unfold quite that way for Linkforce.
No.
But it's when you play this game for so long and you know what you're capable of, it's difficult to talk yourself into buying those potions in a race when sometimes it's the better option. And I've definitely been there and can sympathize with the Linkforce here.
I don't know if he bought any potions, so I can't remember.
Right,
no,
I don't think he did. And Linkforce knows that he's perfectly capable of defeating Trinex without any potions here. But either just nerves or luck or dropped his controller. I don't know. But yeah, just it does. You know what you're capable of, but in a race situation, things are always different. Hey, I want that rupee.
Why does he?
Let's put him in range. I mean, he only needs 5 more rupees to get a red potion here. But if he only had gotten the mirror, you could get that bug net and catch some fairies instead.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely think that's he has potions on the mind with that red rupee acquisition, especially adding 2 door transitions to pick that up. So yeah, a big story in this race was Cynas relying on those safeties and having them pay off in clutch moments.
And the difference in the routing difference is
like
that
second try, Linkforce has a really smooth Trinex fight. I don't even know if he took a single hit there.
He took 1 hit.
Like I said, I'm pretty sure he took 1 single hit there.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, my bad.
You must have misheard me.
I did.
That's okay, I forgive you. Oh, we have some random numbers in chat that have absolutely no significance in the SMZ3 tournament.
I know.
But they're fun. Chat's allowed to have fun, but they're not getting rewarded.
Well, they may not be getting rewarded, but let's say what these numbers are for.
Wow.
All right. Anyway, there is the big key guessing game. You can guess a number in chat. They don't mean nothing. That's about it. But where the big key would be, the last 2 races I've commentated, my buddy has guessed right. So, where the big key, you got to guess between 1 and 23 or 122.
You can guess whatever number you want. You can guess between 6 and 423.
Yeah. Anyway.
You're not likely to get it right unless you pick a number from 1 to 22. I'm just saying. An integer, even.
But guessing, see where that Ganon's big key is. That's always a fun guess to find out. And Linkforce, I don't know what he's doing.
He was checking the criteria powerbomb spot, and he also has not gone to climb supers. Though, did he? Yeah, he's got the speed booster, so he can get the missile pack now, but not what he's looking for.
Anyway, where the big key would be in Ganon's tower.
You mean Gold Teresa?
Yeah. I said Ganon Tower. I didn't say GT. Did I? Did I say GT? I don't know. See, that's what I mean by being confused.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Oh, good try from Linkforce doing the back and forth method using the blue echoes from the speed booster to get through the Poyos. I've fancied myself the damage boost lately, but it did kill me in my last race, so...
I saw that. I think I was...
Maybe I'm starting to rethink my decisions there. Especially when I have enough ammo just to destroy them. We're going to get a waterway check, too, so Linkforce trying to cash in on his speed booster.
There's a space jump.
Find a sword.
I'm
way more excited for that spring ball. He wanted that. He definitely...
He doesn't have the mirror.
Oh, yeah. At least he didn't save and quit. That would give Linkforce some time to catch up, but he is an entire lower Norfair behind.
Oh, man. So our logical access to lower Norfair is through the Meyer portal.
Right, with space jump being in Ganon's tower, of course.
I want to know what's going through Linkforce's head.
Second waterway.
Yeah, but I mean, he can go
He just feels behind and he needs to make the risky plays, I think.
Yeah, but I mean, just go for it. Like, lower Norfair, it's like, well, it gives you time.
I am curious why he hasn't gone into lower Norfair. If
that's what I'm saying.
He wants. Maybe he wants to find screw attack to make lower Norfair a little easier. That could be a possibility.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. I mean, having screw attack is a nice safety item, and like if you're not familiar with the route through lower Norfair, I haven't been counting check, so chat, I'm gonna trust chat on chess numbers because
I just fell in the pit trying to pick up that heart and just broke even. Well, you guess to recoup his losses, I guess. Alright, Linkforce. I do not know what gave him pause there.
I don't know where he's going. I'm just...
The portal.
Oh.
I'm over. You full cleared upper Norfair. I want to see a 1 here and not a 5 or 4 rather, or a 6. You know.
Apparently, we're on check.
I want him to get to those Pegasus boots, but he can mirror in.
Oh, where's he going? Don't go to Meyer. Don't go to Meyer.
He's going to the portal. He's going in the lower Norfair. Relax.
Okay, I'm. Like
he is. Okay.
That's the thing. That's what scared me. He had they both are like, hey, go to Meyer.
I was thinking, oh, he can mirror and do desert now, but then I remembered, right, he can't. That's the point. That's the whole reason he's not in go mode. He's about to be in go mode. Gets a nice setup here. Oh, that's a little frustration arm pump there. He probably feels like he could have gotten that item a long time ago.
Has the big key been found?
I'm gonna guess no, because Cynas is still here.
Oh, he's gonna finish Desert out. There's the big key.
Okay, and big key is in chest number 3, at least since I started counting.
Yeah.
No mirror, but he can check the big chest.
He's going. I think he's going to. Why not?
It could be a sword. It could be a sword,
Oh, no,
Cynas.
No! He's like.
Oh, well.
He's like. Oh, a missed opportunity. And Linkforce gonna go ahead and do.
You just wanted him to check it for the meme.
Yes, I did. I'm very meme heavy. Alright. Linkforce gonna do finish up Desert, then probably gonna go back and finish up or Zelda. Games. Games are difficult, and so are words.
Did you see Linkforce's emulator said 61 FPS for a moment?
Yeah, mine does that too. My emulator does that too.
But I can see it fluctuating between 59 and 60 because the frame rate is actually 59.98. But how does it get back up to 61?
Well, mine goes up to 61 because I have my computer's overclocked. So mine hits 61 quite a bit. My computer, I have my computer overclocked.
Good
so.
blue cane strat, Cynas. That's probably grating on him because as a randomizer race, the runners have no idea where their opponents are. And for all Cynas knows, Linkforce could have just passed him in that room. But I'm making light of it because I know that he has a sizable lead, and hopefully he can look back on it and laugh. And if not, we just can't be friends, I guess.
Oh. It's still funny. I forgot about Blue Cane doing that to switches.
One lesson that I had to learn the hard way is that Blue Cane prevents you from doing spin attacks.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
So I was doing a Master Sword Ganon fight once and used the Blue Cane. And I couldn't hit Ganon because you need to spin attack with Master Sword, right?
Oh.
Alright, well, I think Linkforce has already done Turtle Rock, so he can head into Ganon's tower right now, right? But he still has to fight Ridley.
Yeah, I think he's gonna go back and go fight Ridley after this.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Reverse Amphitheater from Linkforce as well.
I don't know if he feels comfortable doing it.
Well, you won't have space jump for it. That's for dang sure.
Oh yeah, that's in Ganon's tower. Where's he going? What are you doing?
He has to get a Shine Spark to get through this room. Where he can. I mean, he could also do an infinite bomb jump, but I think this is faster.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. You can't wall jump up there with just high jump boots. There's a few ways to get through that room. Obviously, space jump, IBJ, the Shine Spark that we saw, a spring ball jump, which wouldn't be in logic, and
because that's in Ganon's tower too.
yeah, well, it's not in logic in this mode anyway. But there is one other way to get through that room in Super Metroid Randomizer. So the door that is the portal that takes you into Misery Mire actually goes into an energy refill station in the vanilla game. So if you're doing just Super Metroid Randomizer, if you have high jump boots and speed booster and screw attack, you can actually jump through that doorway to get up that room. But of course, if you have
wait, say those items again.
High jump boots and speed booster to get the height you need, and then screw attack to break the blocks. But it doesn't really matter too much because if you have Speed Booster, you can just defeat Gold Torizo. And I mean, speed-wise it matters, but logic-wise it doesn't really matter since Speed Booster itself gets you through there.
Linkforce not doing
I suddenly remembered you might want a sword. Checking all the chests up here. Oh, we'll drop the spin jump there. That's just the reality of Super Metroid sometimes. You want to spin jump and you don't. I missed what that was, and I only care if it's a sword.
It wasn't a sword.
That was a stab, which is gonna put... That might have also been a stab? I'm not sure. So a stab would actually do less damage than a spin, and would offset...
Oh, come on!
It's gonna offset... I'm not sure if... Okay. So fortunately he got another stab in there, whether intentional or not, but having a stab in there would offset Moldworm's hit points in such a way that he'll do the enrage phase. However, Cynas getting another stab in there meant that he offset it back to the proper position. And Cynas making good use of his safety items in Link to the Past, just in general throughout the run has been doing so.
And Linkforce on his Golden Pirates.
That was a weird trajectory for that blue ball. Good double. Wait, Ganon was Ganon?
Apparently.
I thought Ganondorf was Ganon.
Maybe.
And don't tell me that was Ocarina of Time, because that was a prequel. Right? Let's not start that conversation. Never mind.
Do not know
take that back. I apologize.
I don't know the Zelda timelines, so count me out.
Neither does Shigeru Miyamoto, so you're in good company.
Master Sword Ganon.
Not too bad with the silvers. Also half magic, and I think Cynas never actually bought the potion after picking up that red ruby in Desert Palace. Whoops. Or maybe he did and I fell asleep.
No, he did not.
Ridley down for Linkforce. He does have a green potion from the Pyramid Fairy, though, so if he wants to go with Cape strats here, he can definitely make it through Phase 4.
And you can do spins with Cape.
Right, unlike the blue Cape. Oh, great position for Ganon. This is the freest spot. If he's in this position, you can just get in the top right corner and do double hit spin attacks to your heart's content. Remind me to tell Cynas that later.
Alright, tell Cynas that later.
Remind me later to tell Cynas that.
Later is not a definitive amount of time, so I'm gonna just say later. It's later now.
You stole that joke from Garfield. He's like, I'm gonna save this lasagna for later. It's later. Alright, on to Phase 3. Just gonna be 4 spin hits here. And Cynas has used his green potion. Does have an ample amount of magic to work with still, but might want to play it a little safe and get that torch glitch by spamming the lamp.
I've ran out of magic trying to do the torch glitch. Because I didn't know
Did you get the silver arrows in Brinstar? Yeah.
I remember a time where
It's often worth using a couple of, like a little bit of extra magic with the lamp to save magic in the long run for this fight. We're gonna have to do spin attacks to freeze Ganon, and then a silver arrow. 4 silver arrows will defeat the big pig, after which we'll move on to Mother Brain. And Linkforce is going through the Lower Norfair escape and getting those item checks that Cynas skipped over.
I didn't see what power bombs in jail was, but apparently it was nothing.
Yeah, it wasn't a sword. I think Linkforce would have gone for a sword there.
Get 1G in chat for Cynas.
That's interesting. That red mail there, that's such a, like... whatever my instinct did at that point, I would either get it or not get it. I don't really have a definitive answer over whether I would pick that up.
Yeah.
I probably would have just, like, rolled in, rolled out, and be like, oh, that was red mail. I should have gotten that. What a shame.
I would take it. I love safety. I'm not a good Legend of Zelda player. I have to get it.
Come on, 76 energy is plenty. This is a pretty timely, time costly... This takes a while. Because it has to go through the animation of refilling 8 E-tanks worth of energy. The ammo refills almost instantly, but the E-tanks are what cost you on the ship refill.
I've noticed that.
Sometimes it's even...
The power bomb was a little short on Linkforce's side.
Sometimes it's actually worth doing a crystal flash because it refills your energy a little bit faster than the... Hey, remember earlier when I said we're gonna trip over that?
About 30 minutes, about 2.5 hours ago? Yeah. You know, a Metroid almost looks like an Overlord if you think about it.
Overlords have elephant noses, though.
Yeah, but still thinking about it.
I mean, they do like.
I'm talking about like stage 2 to 3 Metroids, like the you know, like in Return to Samus 2 and stuff.
Nope. Haven't played it. No spoilers, please.
That game is so old. Really? It was on the Game Boy.
It came out like 2 years ago on 3DS, didn't it?
No, that's a remake, though. That doesn't count.
Yeah, but it depends what graphics you're referring to.
I'm talking about like the Super Metro or the Game Boy, not the re-release of it by Nintendo. But like the old Nintendo graphics. Huh?
That's AM2R2. That's
no, on the Game Boy.
So
the original.
Alright, so speedrun.com, the URL for Samus Returns, the remake, it's actually speedrun.com/AM2R2. At least it was when the game came out. I assume they haven't changed it, but it was sure nice of them to reserve SM for us. Because we held out on moving the Deer Tier leaderboards over there for a while. Really? And they were like, welcome, friend. We saved this URL for you. Take that, other games with the initials SM. Yeah, SimMidi.
SimMidi?
Sim.
What game is that?
Nice job. You've got a couple jumps in there.
Oh. And facing right to save some frames.
Yeah.
Super might and magic.
You have to turn around. I guess if you do a spin jump, you save the turnaround time, but you still have to turn around back the other way. I don't know how much time it actually saves.
Someone in chat, how much time does that save? Super Luigi's Mansion. Super Mario Brothers. I don't know.
Symphony. Anyway. Get your guesses in for Linkforce. Remember, the answer was 3. But if he does the chest in a different order in that room, it'll be a different answer. Alright, are we gonna go for the speed Zeb skip for Cynas? Oh, we got a good stutter there. I need him to teach me how to do that. It's one of my least consistent tricks in this game. Did have Ice Beam to fall back on, but still nice to see a good speed Zeb skip. Alright, he's got all the beams. He's got tons of ammo. Shouldn't have any sweat taking down Mother Brain.
It's gonna be a short fight.
Yeah, a couple of those missiles just hit the glass and didn't actually damage Mother Brain. But it's fine.
He has ammo.
He's gonna go for some super missiles here, though. I'm pretty sure Charge Beam is the optimal strat here with the 900 damage. Super missiles will deal... Or I think it breaks even. Yeah, I think this actually breaks even. You either have to shoot... You have to shoot 3 super missiles per charge shot in this fight.
3 super missiles per charge shot?
300 damage from a super missile, 900 damage from a charge shot.
How much damage does missiles do?
100.
So it's 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. Oh no, he's gonna unload onto her, which makes sense because it saves some drain time when he goes when she hyper beams Samus.
Well, it'll keep him from losing those missiles, but I don't think the animation costs any more time if she has to drain missiles. Everything just goes down at the same time. Alright, and he has the energy for a stand-up glitch here. Gonna have to be fast. I think he's in the clear. If you're a little too slow on damaging yourself down here, this Hyper Beam could actually be a full 300 damage Hyper Beam.
Okay.
Instead of triggering the cutscene.
I've never seen this done with the Spring Ball. Usually I see them with the wall jumps.
That's pretty funny. I've never seen that either. Yeah, wall jump. I mean, the relevant frames are when the baby enters the screen, you have to be standing, and when the baby detaches from Mother Brain's head, you have to be in the air. What did I say? I meant in the air. But in any case, Cynas has X-ray scope, which could break him out of the crouch lock if he gets stuck down.
Really? I did not know that.
Yep.
Oh yeah, because Samus had to stand up to use X-ray.
Well, if you turn around, if you un-X-ray while turning around, it forces Samus into a standing position. Just bomb capacity upgrade. Sorry, Linkforce. Your sword is... All your swords are in Bomb Palace. Yeah. Alright. It's always fun, all the wacky graphics you get during the stand-up glitch. Cynas is gonna play it super safe. If you have a shot on the screen while Samus acquires Hyper Beam, it doesn't necessarily freeze the game, but it makes it go at like 1 frame per minute. Like, it's really bad.
I forgot who
and then it arbitrarily unlocks at some point, hopefully. I've heard of people going several hours waiting for the game to unlock and then finishing a run.
I remember commentating a weekly, and I forget who it was, and it started with a K. I can't remember, but anyway, they did the Samus glitch, and their game locked up like that, and we were waiting forever. It was about 2 o'clock in the morning, and we were still waiting for it to unfreeze, because you could see it move.
They kept the restream up for all that time?
No, there was other runners still finishing on the restream.
Oh, okay.
But like, it got to the point where that runner could move, and we could clearly see it, so he wasn't locked. So we could, yeah, it was 2 o'clock, about 2 o'clock. We ended the stream about 2 o'clock in the morning, and I remember it because it was a Sunday, and I was on second shift at the time, so I didn't have to wake up early. But you know, that's the only reason why I remember it.
Alright, well, Cynas only has a couple rooms left to go before he finishes escaping from Zebes. And he's going to get that done in under 310. Really nice. And meanwhile, Linkforce Not too far behind. Had some woes with a couple of unfortunate deaths in Link to the Past, and also that hunt for the Pegasus boots didn't really go his way. But still going to finish up on the top portion of Ganon's tower. And
Cynas finishing up with an SRL time of 3 hours, 8 minutes, and 8 seconds.
GG.
GG. Alright, let's see if we can get Cynas in for an interview. GG, Cynas.
GG.
That was an amazing race.
That's, well, yes, hopefully. Hopefully it was a great race. It was not.
It was fun to watch.
It was not a great show of skill or technique on my part.
I gotta ask, what happened to your internet? It just died?
I honestly don't know. The note I got from my browser was that, you know, it had disconnected for very short periods of time, like very, very quickly, and then it came back eventually.
Blame your cats.
I don't know.
You can blame my cat.
Thanks everybody for the GGs in chat. Appreciate it.
I have to ask, do you want to know, would you like to know where the mirror was?
I mean, I suppose it's moot since the big key was on the torch, but yes, I would very much like to know where it was.
It was in purple chest.
Gross. That is like the most obnoxious place for it. It really is.
We saw you skipping out on all the lower Norfair checks, which turned out to be a good call.
Yeah. I don't know. I saw those boots and I was like 2.5 hour AGA. Oh, that's almost as good as a ped seed for viewers, so we'll do it.
Your routing was really good though. I mean, it was very efficient.
I had some trouble piecing together the logic in the beginning. It was very interesting.
Oh yeah, we had a good time with that. Like, okay, so we got all this stuff, so now we've narrowed down the location of Hammer to all that thinking for nothing.
Well, see, as soon as you got the high jump boots, and I'm like, I was thinking back to a seed that I was helping a friend with, and I'm like, Blue Brimstar. Progression has to be in Blue Brimstar. And then once you guys go around, find Morph Ball, and do all Dark Death Mountain and all Death Mountain, and you guys do that Blue Brimstar loop
for you, Linkforce.
And then Hammer.
You know, I almost went to Blue Brim first just so I could find out what was there, but I had sorted it out by the time I was running out of the ship that it had to be Hammer because the mitts were hookshot locked and something else was hookshot locked. But it was, it would have been impossible for it to be anything. Oh, right, yeah, the flute was hookshot locked, so your progression up there had to be Lamp from Hype Cave, plus the Hammer.
Which meant Aga wasn't the logical access to Dark World with Lamp and Dark.
Right, exactly. And I pretty much knew that then, and so I was
Link taking a death. Hate to see that.
Yep. But yeah, so that was definitely a thing. I was trying my hardest to avoid that book, but
yeah, unfortunately, this kind of told one of the big parts of the story of this race was Linkforce knowing what he's capable of in Link to the Past and skipping out on buying potions until right now. I think this is the first time he actually came here. Didn't even buy any potions when he grabbed the gravity suit. So he knows what he's capable of, but unfortunately, in a race situation, sometimes you just have to think a little differently.
yeah.
And meanwhile, Cynas had taken several trips to the potion shop, and every one of them paid off.
Yeah, paid off because I'm terrible. If you want to call that paying off. But,
I call that paying off because I want to paint you in the best possible light.
Thanks, I appreciate it. You're very much a glass half full type kind of guy.
What are friends for?
But yeah, no, it's I don't know. I was going into Ice Palace. I was incredibly frustrated because I'm pretty sure I had to burn a potion there, and I got the hard part of Icebreaker set up, but I just forgot how to do the rest of it once I got the block.
Yeah, if you only didn't waste all that time practicing Snail Clip and practiced Icebreaker.
Yeah.
You didn't even need because he had the speed booster. But Linkforce did a nice Snail Clip for us, so we still got to see it.
Nice. Yeah, what else happened this seed?
I mean, but I always say, you know, always know your strengths and your weaknesses and play around those. And you definitely showed some superior skill in Super Metroid. Just the damage boosts in the cosine room after fighting Crocomire I thought were well executed.
I never get both of them. I think this might be the first time ever that I've gotten both of them in the room. I usually get one and not the other.
I like the part where you damage boosted from right to left and landed on the frozen fly. I'm going to say that was intended, and you can feel
Oh
free
yeah,
to
definitely. 100% intended. Yep. Yeah, man, this was a seed, and there were just so many points throughout the seed where I was saying to myself, what is the least bad decision I can make right now?
When you went up to Hera, what were you thinking about? Like, when did you realize Turtle Rock, except for Mimic Cave, was a full clear?
Very early, and I kind of wanted to go and do it, but I was at that time I was still like, okay, well it's gonna be mirror or it's gonna be book, right? And I saved it until last because, you know, I didn't want to orphan Mimic Cave, you know, especially if I picked up the mirror, what if the boots were in there, right? So it was really difficult to. There are certainly people who would have played that more aggressively than me and maybe gotten that speed booster much earlier because it was in logic really early. I think we got both Ice Rod and Fire Rod in Green Bryn. Kane was early. Bombos was early.
Ice Rod was Gauntlet E-Tank, and Red King was Hype Cave, I think.
Yeah. What about that Moldorm fight?
Dude, I don't know.
I've never seen that.
I've seen the ledge denial there, but I've never seen a triple ledge denial.
That first one was wacky too because I got deflected like not even straight back onto the very large lip. Like I thought I was going down, man. I thought I was in the pit, and I wouldn't have even been able to be mad at that point. That would have just been totally ridiculous, and I would have had to laugh. That would have loosened me up a little bit, I think.
Well,
it was a race, and that gravity suit location.
Yeah, I mean, I was ready to reset that. I think I did a save and quit right before I checked it too, and was like, okay, I kind of want to keep this in case I need to. Because I had already used the fake powder to get fairies earlier in the seed because I played so atrociously in A Link to the Past today. I was really hesitant to give up that mushroom.
Safety. I'm a big believer of safety items.
Powder was in my sandpit, free, dude.
Yeah, I know. I probably should have just done another reset and gotten it.
I was curious about your Meridia route. Unfortunately, we did have an outage, but we did catch you go into the portal and take down Dragon before doing any of the other Meridia checks. And I'm curious what your full Meridia route is from start to finish, coming in from the right side.
Yeah.
Well, that was me kind of making it up as I went and trying not to forget anything.
What did you do?
Yeah, what did you do? Because we saw Dragon.
I want to say it could pay off. Because if you go from right to left, then you've already defeated Dragon. You get the Aqueduct save, and then you can route, like, you can either do Sandpits or left Meridia from that save point and have, like, multiple reset options. So I think that it could actually be an interesting play.
Yeah.
I'm curious how you actually played out the full Meridia clear there. And did you even go to Plasma? You came back in. You had just defeated Crocomire. You were
that's when we came back in.
The ballroom.
So defeated Dragon, and then I went to the sandpits room and checked the aqueduct locations. Then I made a save and checked both of those sandpits. And had I found something there, I probably would have done Shack Tool and Plasma, but I didn't find anything, so I just kept going left. And decided to abandon Shack Tool and Plasma. So then I went up to the beach and to Mama Turtle and then to the last two items. That's too bad because you guys missed me doing... so after I checked the item above Main Street Missiles there, I dropped back down kind of through the room right before Mama Turtle and did that, you know, that easy to tap on the ledge to go up to Main Street Missiles and totally whiffed it. You know, got the Shine Spark and whiffed the actual item, and then went back down and got the Stutter 3 at the bottom instead.
Yeah, no vid, no did.
Mm-hmm. Well, you saw me do it in Tour, and you know I can do it.
Right. Yeah, you had a really smooth Zeb skip there. I like that.
He was asking if he could learn your secrets of the trade.
Yeah,
Skip.
My stutter goes, like, I think I stutter too fast, and that leaves me with 1, maybe 2 pixels to press down before, you know, running off the ledge in the Zeb room.
When I was learning it, I had a, when I was learning it, I was really good at it, and I haven't practiced it in a long time, except for, you know, like right before the race or whatever. But it was, so the way I actually learned to do taps, I learned from the same video how to do stutter 3s, and it's easier for me to just use a rhythm rather than look at Samus's sprite, and I know that doesn't work for everyone, but that's how it works for me. And so, you know, I listened to a metronome for a long time to get the, so that you can have an exactly even spacing for a 3-tap. And then the Stutter 3 is kind of a weird beat, and I forget what it's called. I'm not a musician by any means, but instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and I don't know why, but every time I just kind of think of that in my head. And also, yeah,
1, 2.
Yeah, so the 1 ka is my stutter, and the 2, 3, 4 is my dash button presses. Anyway, there's also a pretty good visual cue in that terrain room as well, because the blocks are, you know, they're not continuous in that room. There's lots of vertical and horizontal stuff going on, and there's some really good landmarks for knowing where your tap should go.
So what you're saying is Tier Force knew.
Maybe. I mean, if they did, like, you know, even more mad props to them.
Also, on your Ganon fight, Cross was saying something about.
Oh, I was just
positioning.
saying, if Ganon's doing the Ring of Fire, like the fire bat twirl, and he's in the top right corner, you can just stand in the top right corner and do spin attacks, never get hit, and get double spins for days.
Nice. I'm terrible, actually, at A Link to the Past, and I think that that's probably one thing that was revealed by this. Just no confidence in it, because, I mean, you miss a trick in A Link to the Past and it feels really not good, right? You know, because Link to the Past is the maybe technically easier game, but not the routing necessarily easier game. And so when you miss something, you know, it really busts up my rhythm. And, you know, whenever I miss something in Super Metroid, I'm like, oh, that trick's stupid hard, and people miss it all the time. You know? And then, you know, if I get it, then it's like, oh, great, I'm super pumped about getting that tough trick. So it's always a positive in Super Metroid, and it's almost always a negative for me in Link to the Past. It's a really interesting dichotomy for me.
Super Metroid also just feels really good because the movement is smoother. There's a lot of like sharp turns and running back and forth in Link to the Past. In Super Metroid, there's
Link taking a fall on Ganon. That's sad to see.
That's unfortunate, and he used several potions in that fight as well. But
He
yeah, in
used-
Super Metroid, once you get you land your ledge grabs, you get your mock balls, like everything just flows so easily.
But
Oh,
if
yeah.
you fail something in Super Metroid, I found out it is very punishing.
I don't know about that. I mean, if you fail like a room transition, maybe, but like if you just fail a strategy to get across a room, you know, and you run into some spikes or something, then you just keep going in the room, and yeah, you lose. You don't shave off a second. You just shave off a little bit less than that second or whatever it is.
Sometimes you shave on a second.
Yeah.
Hmm.
The reverse razor by cross product.
I
And
don't. But yeah, I didn't realize. Like, I was gonna say product twice after your name, but I was like, wait a minute. This seed was interesting, and it had the potential. It was that book on Lumberjack was very trolly, I think.
Oh, certainly. And, you know, this is the second seed in this tournament where that has been a thing for me. So we had a space jump there in one of my previous races, and it governed how I played it. This one, you know, was the same way. It was, you know, I'm waiting to pull the trigger on this action, right, to do this. I'm waiting to know whether I should do this or not until much later in the seed type kind of thing.
Yeah, we saw that book so early, and immediately we thought, okay, is this going to be required or is it not going to be required? And it turned out.
Yeah,
And
it was.
you-
It depends on how you routed it.
Yeah. Well,
Like-
the absolute killer was that I could have known where the boots were at
Yeah, we
40,
mentioned that too.
45 minutes.
You had dipped in without Varius to check the screw attack item, and then immediately reset and didn't
Yep.
check the items in the GT room.
Yep. Man, coulda, woulda, shoulda. But, you know.
Especially when you're committing to a reset there's really no risk in going in there. If you happen to die before checking the item, well...
Yeah.
Oh, we do still have a blue pot for Linkforce, that's good.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that would have made me play the game differently, though. Because
Yeah, how
of-
likely, if you did see the Pegasus boots there, just at the very least, how likely would you have been to try to defeat Gold Terizo without Varius suit, without... Yeah, I think you might have had every beam but wave at that point.
Yeah, he had every beam but wave.
Yeah, I mean, I was honestly, when I had gravity, I was like, do I want to do a variolous lower Norfair? Maybe. I've got 35 power bombs. It would be a big ask, but it could be done. And I was playing with that idea, and I'm kind of glad that I found Varia before I had to make that decision.
Alright.
It just, I don't know. I think that I could do it, but I would have spent a lot of time on it, and I don't think the trade-off would have been worth it.
Linkforce being sure to get that torch glitch this time. Gonna make execution in round 4 much easier. Should get a double here from his silvers.
Ooh, don't
See,
fall,
sometimes
Linkforce.
the spin just has too much lag to it sometimes.
Yeah, Necra is absolutely right. You know, if that mistake leads to a death, then that's pretty bad. But if I were doing variolous lower Norfair, I would probably be taking a lot of saves as I went. Because I don't know RBO like one of our hosts.
That's pig down for Linkforce. And he has but to defeat Mother Brain and escape planet Zebes.
But it wasn't a bad seed. Get 1G in chat for Linkforce while he goes and faces the big brain. It wasn't a bad seed. It was fun to watch. The logic in the seed. You guys both sequence break. You guys were holding hands for a while there, and then you guys just split up. Now, one thing though, Linkforce did not go into Super Metroid to check high jump location until after he got, like, instead of activating the flute like you did, he went into Super Metroid and got the sword before you. So that was a big difference in route divergence, and then you chose to go. Once you got that hammer, you chose to go to Hype Cave and go south Dark World and all that fun stuff. And he decided to go north Dark World through the Skull Woods and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it hang on, I gotta stop my timer or somebody's gonna get upset. I did that for the same reason that I went to Paradox Cave early, because it's so dense. There's so many checks there, and I wanted to check bottle and I wanted to activate flute, that it just seemed like a good idea. And you never know when you're gonna find like speed booster or screw attack or something that is gonna make your Super Metroid game even faster. And that's admittedly probably one of my weaknesses in SMZ3, is wanting to really wait until I'm sure I've gotten everything I can in my first round of A Link to the Past, because I have been burned by that before. But yeah, I think I had done every possible check in Super Metroid before I found that sword. That was probably my last one, other than the rupees right above it. But yeah, I wish that I had held out on Wreck Ship, because that was a whole lot of nothing, but it was hard to tell whether it would be or not at that point. And I had you guys got to see a microwave elephant today, so that's something you don't get to see very often.
Are you excited for your match against Hataka? I can't pronounce his name.
Number 3 seed? Yeah, how do you feel about going against that guy?
What, you mean the former world record holder of SMZ3? I need a change of pants is what I need. So.
Wear brown pants,
right,
no one will know.
If I win my next race, I'm going to go against the number 2 seed, so...
Who's number 2?
Ashter.
Ashter? Oh, you guys are going to have fun.
I honestly don't know who I'd rather go up against there. I really don't.
I'd rather go up against the talk.
I mean, I've watched both, and I've even commentated on Asdir Seed, and I have commentated a weekly with the Hitaka.
I'm just saying, Hitaka has a weird sleep schedule, so sometimes you can get him at a bad hour.
Yeah, that's true. I've noticed that. Like, me being off work, I've noticed his, like, you'd expect a schedule, but there's no schedule to that guy. He streams when he wants. He's like, I feel like streaming. We're doing this right now. It was...
He might be looking to start a multi-world soon.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
I can't. I've been thinking about doing one. I thought about doing one this weekend with that buddy that I just started, and a few other people, but that's beside the point. But I don't know if I'll be able to commentate. Like, I should be going back to work, so like these late night races that I'm commentating now, it's sadly, unless it's on a weekend, I won't be able to.
It wasn't late when we started.
Yeah, but I work at 4 o'clock in the morning, so like a Friday night late race I can do, but like Sunday nights, nope. And Linkforce doing a ice Zeb skip, that's nice. What item do you think was the trolliest besides that hammer? Like, what item and the boots? Besides the boots and the hammer, like any item really threw you off your game? Like, to make you question?
Either of those were the trolliest. I think the trolliest items were the space jump and the spring ball, frankly.
Yeah, those was like... oh, yeah, so your menu to mirror to, like, warp back to the beginning of the game hour.
Yeah, no,
that one.
I didn't even get it, but I think mirror takes the cake here.
Yeah, mirror was one of those items. Overall, it was a fantastic race. I mean, like, both of you sequence breaking like you did, and everything was just very impressive. I couldn't do those dark rooms if I tried. Another route divergence that you and Linkforce did is he went to South Shore while you went up to Eastern. Is that routing that you did? Why didn't you go? Why go Eastern first and not South Shore? With you had the flippers, and you had all those checks and Zora and everything, and you even had the money for it. Why?
Did I have money for it?
Yeah, you were actually like 20 rubies away. Zora money.
That's right. There was like a 300 in Eastern. That's right.
Yeah.
That definitely got me over.
But why didn't you go to South Shore before going to Eastern?
South Shore is just always my last check in A Link to the Past. It just is. I feel like I'd say the better part of 70 or 80% of the seeds I get, you get one of 3 items, right? You get the flippers, probably the least often of the 3. The moon pearl you usually get pretty early, or you get the boots, right? And any one of those gives you access to the waterfall cave, and I hate leaving that check behind. So I'm always making that pretty much my last check. And plus, you have the added benefit of all that stuff, or most of that stuff, is usually out of logic when you check it, or, like Waterfall is out of logic and only Zora is in logic, right? If you find nothing there, then you can reset it and keep your rupees, which honestly probably would have helped me this term, because I was chugging potions like a crazy person.
A potion addict?
Yeah, basically.
Oh no, the reason why is you had the flippers, you had the money, you had everything to do South. That's why I was curious why. I mean, having the flippers, generally pushes people doing that South check and then doing Eastern, So that's what I was just curious. I
was doing the Hasrola's closet anyway, right? And Eastern was a pendant. If Eastern had been a crystal, I would have held out for Mirror and tried to wrap it in with Pod. It's just the way that it went. That's usually my decision-making process. Oh, is Eastern a pendant? I better check the Sphere 0 because I don't want to get burned by it. Is it a crystal? I'm gonna have to come back sooner or later anyway. I might as well be later.
Yeah. I was just curious. But it was a fun seed. It was the dark room skills of both of you guys was amazing. I'm gonna say that it was just one of those things that I couldn't do without a map, without Googling it. Dark room for this, dark room for this. That's what I had to do.
You play it, right? You play the game, you get used to it, and even if you aren't practicing dark rooms, when you're going through the rooms with the lights on, you're technically practicing it, right? Without thinking about it, you internalize the movements of the room, and it just kind of works, and it makes it easier when you do decide to practice it. But it's one of those things where, you got the hammer and the bow, right? You got to be able to knock out Pod, because you don't want not having a lamp to be the reason that you come back to Pod. Once that happens to you once or twice, that's basically the only catalyst you need to learn dark rooms.
Linkforce is choosing to save the animals. Sorry. You honestly should open a SMZ3 training school, Cynas.
Dude.
Oh, those poor animals.
What?
I mean,
he just euthanized them. Why have them go through the agony of having the planet blow up, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I could do a little bit of training. Like, I would love to teach beginners how to play, but there are 100 better players out there that.
Some of them in this tournament.
You just got that fatherly. You got that fatherly voice that would be perfect for it.
Oh,
some of them are even in this chat.
Yep. And I'm gonna cut you off real quick. Finishing with an SRL time of 3 hours, 37 minutes, and 18 seconds. Linkforce. GG Linkforce, as sadly he has declined to do an interview. However, he is in chat if you have questions for that man.
Yep. And while we're gathering those up, I'm going to shout out our sponsors one more time. Rank1.global, a social media site by gamers for gamers, has provided some cash prizes for the top 4 finishers of this tournament. You can sign up with your Twitch account and follow the runners and join the SMZ3 community.
Mm-hmm.
Well, although Linkforce did stop his timer first, I don't know.
Yeah, Cynas is still racing. I mean, I think Linkforce won it because
Still
I mean,
looking
Cynas
for that mirror.
I want you to look for some swords. Go grab the mirror and see if those swords are in Swamp Palace. They're in Swamp of Misery Mire. Yikes.
A question for Linkforce while he's in the chat. Did you ever think once you got that mirror, were you gonna go into Swamp when you found that mirror? Like just to see if any progression was in there? I have to ask because I'm like, oh, he's got the mirror. He's gonna do Swamp. Never. Okay, that answers that question. I'm trying to think. Oh yeah, I found the source of that music. By the way, I was hearing cross. I was hearing music throughout the whole race, and it was driving me nuts. And I thought it was either yours or Linkforce's stream. I finally found the source of it.
It was from the game. The game.
No. It was my Spotify. I had it down really, really low, and yeah. But beside the point. Linkforce. What was your thoughts when you saw those boots on Golden Frizo? I know you. I mean, yeah. I'm just curious. Like, why didn't you like? Hold on. Let me rephrase that question to better ask it. Why didn't you after? Why didn't you go straight into like once you got down with Meridia and everything, and or actually you got done with Norfair, Upper Norfair? Why didn't you just go straight down to Lower Norfair and go to Ridley? I mean, what caused your checks to go in that direction instead of going straight to Lower Norfair? What were you looking for? I'm just curious, because unlike, I mean, okay, we get space jumper speed. Yeah, because at that time you didn't have you didn't go into Turtle Rock. I forgot about that. And I just broke my brand new keyboard. Yeah, Screw Attack was never found by either of you guys. Space Jump, as we know, and Spring Ball was in Ganon's tower, sadly. But at least you guys had full beams in charge. I mean, that's a positive, right? I mean, could you both agree that having a full beam combo and charge beam was really helpful in this race?
Well, I'm really terrible at charge shots, and I think that's one of the things Cross brought up in the Mother Brain fight. It's not that it's not that I shouldn't be using charge shots, it's that I'm terrible at holding charges while trying to jump and angle up. So it's just, that's why I usually go for supers, because I'm less likely to make a mistake.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it does and it doesn't, right? So it makes sense for me because I know it's a weakness of my playstyle, but it doesn't make sense from the perspective of I could go faster. That's something I could work on to get better.
That is true. Any final thoughts and whatnot? Because I mean, I'm pretty sure Linkforce is really salty and probably wants to go to bed or something, and really upset on how he played and everything, judging by his short answers and his little emote. Any last final thoughts between you two?
Well, I hope it's not out of place for me to say for Linkforce0 to speak on his behalf, but I don't know that this race was really representative of either of us in terms of what we can do when we're at our best, and it certainly should not diminish the fact that Linkforce is an outstanding member of the community. A
Oh,
much
yes.
better one than me. Link is tracking races all the time. Link is, he's the guy you want in your
Oh,
corner.
I want to point that out. I want to point this out while you guys were running. Why he was clearing out dungeons. Like, you went back for a map chest. I forgot where. You went back for a chest. But like his ability to track on his skill of tracking items really showed in the when he was clearing out dungeons, because I noticed he was he did not check chests that you did. No,
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
you're both exceptional runners. You guys are better than me. I mean, skipping stone proves that, Cynas, right?
Well, hey, that's not a thing anymore, so
I know.
don't
Thank
worry
God.
about it.
I should have entered when I got the thing. Like when I got the message from someone to rejoin because I was in the last one. I thought skipping stone was, and I'm like, nope, I don't want any of this nonsense. That's why I didn't sign up for this time around, because I thought it was still in logic, and then I come to find out it wasn't. But that's not the point. But his tracking skills, you can really notice them when he was clearing out dungeons compared to you. His dungeon clearing of how logic works within the dungeons was phenomenal. I mean,
He's
he
probably,
may say he played bad, but that skill of tracking is phenomenal.
yeah. Well, and I mean, it's that's another weakness of mine in general, which is, and you may have seen things during the season. What is he doing right now? Like,
Yeah.
I took one screen before I turned around and was like, wait, I'm not in Dark World type kind of thing. That's because I'm trying to think of the next 2 or 3 things that I'm going to do.
Yeah.
And I can't, I have a really hard time making sure that my autopilot goes to step 1 while I'm thinking about step 4 and 5.
It's like playing baseball. You got to field the ball before you throw it to first, right? If you're thinking about
Exactly.
the throw to first, then the ball goes right between your legs.
Yep. Absolutely right. And it's, I think
whatever baseball is. I only play SMZ3. I've heard of video games with baseball in them.
Not gonna lie, we got on the subject of StarCraft throughout halfway through the race, but yeah, with the closing thoughts.
There's no
Linkforce,
baseball in Star Crying.
the other is if
Oh,
I'm not gonna go
spoiler.
there. I'm not gonna go there. You'll have to find it yourself. Any closing stuff?
well, as usual, again, props to Linkforce. It does take some cojones to enter a tournament like this, and it's you got to do it for the right reasons. And I think, again, Linkforce is an outstanding member of the community, and you guys should absolutely follow him. But I also want to thank you, HK, and Cross for taking time out of your weekend to commentate the race. Thank you to our tracker, and thank you everyone for watching. We got some great races coming up. It's going to be a really exciting bracket. I'll see you guys around. See you next mission, as it were.
Yeah, great races coming up. It looks like we're about finished up on all the SpeedGaming channels. So speaking of following the runners, follow both those guys. Follow the commentators if you want. Follow the tracker. Follow the restreamer. But also make sure you follow all of the SpeedGaming channels. We've got SpeedGaming, SpeedGaming 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we're done for a couple hours. But if you are a night owl or live in Europe and you visit Portal 2, Portal 2 race at 3 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. So, schedule, and I'll just go ahead and let my co-commentator HK sign us off.
Well, I repeat, just follow these amazing runners. They did a wonderful job, both Cynas and Linkforce. The next SMZ tournament race is, I cannot pronounce these guys, their names. One's Iris and EYKIR. I don't want to butcher it. I'll just spell it. That's one of the racers set tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern time. Then you have another race same day, Blandation versus Error 72 at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Channel undecided still, but those are the next two races that are coming up for SMZ3. Thank you for joining us. It was a blast. Thank you, co-commentator, to be awesome. Cynas, congratulations on moving on. Linkforce, you did don't forget to follow Linkforce. He loves to have people watch. He may say he's bad, but he's good to watch. He's hilarious if he has his mic on. Follow my co-commentator. He streams a lot more than I do. And shout out to everybody that's put this on, and mind of me for getting Cynas' stream back up and recrop to make it fit, and Miss Metroid for organizing all this, and everybody in the background that is working on these races and making sure everybody has a fun and enjoyable time.
Good night.
So, yeah, and have a good night.